live, which we are.
It would have been great if it had been live in that conversation.
No, we are live.
Well, that conversation never existed. It doesn't happen.
We are live right now.
We're live
on this wonderful April 1st edition of Survivors of Tarnstead. I would like everybody to immediately roll me a 1d6.
No. No.
Cool.
Yeah.
Oh.
Gifton, 1, Carrick, 3, Corvus, 6, Telday, 4, RG, 1, Cassie, 3. We almost had a really cool spread there.
Yeah, we almost had a straight.
Wait,
I had the 3.
I was
Yeah,
just
there
saying, I
was
think
2 threes.
There's two
Two
threes.
threes.
Yes.
Ones.
But
I
you only said I had a 1.
No, I said RG1.
RG1, Cassie 3.
Yeah, her pauses did sound a little like she was referring to the wrong one, but no, it lined up.
Yep.
Okay.
Seemed fine to me.
Okie dokie. Alright, we are back with another wonderful episode of Survivors of Tarnstead. We're going to start in our usual manner of introduction with nothing strange going on. First up, we have Blackheart as.
Eric Marsk.
We have Kronos as.
RG Alira.
We have Hadden as.
Tilde.
We have Marcus as.
Corvus Adalas.
We have Semi as.
Gifton, Brockgren, Greasteel.
We have Tobias as.
SBP is still shod.
We have me, Yuli, as the ever trustworthy DM. We'd like to get the recap.
That's a lie.
You know, she doesn't actually have to do anything to us. She's just set the seed of paranoia for the whole session.
No
Am I
recaps?
doing it or somebody else doing it?
I'll give it a try.
Go ahead, Kronos.
Do it.
Gifton took in Mirror's essence, but didn't tell anyone.
Mhm.
RG and Corvus both opened the bottles badly from Triamon. Gifton got hers open by actually asking
didn't.
how to.
I haven't actually opened it. I just found out how to.
Well, you asked how to open it, yeah.
Yeah.
Carrick went looking for creatures, which, yay, finding more. Gifton had a long conversation with Triamon about mucking about with time. That's exactly I've written down.
Mhm.
We went to the temple, we saw with the caravan split from them so we could go to the time vault. We got to the vault, met Tria and Savash, who are in turn the commander and the ensign. I think that's correct.
I think we were at the Savage Center, is what it was it? Or was it Captain Savage?
Oh, it's Captain Sfash.
Okay.
Oh, it's Captain? Okay, so I have those two reversed then.
Yeah. Captain Savage and Centria, right?
Yes.
Anders.
Okay. Yeah, and it was the...
Actually, that's right. It is Commander.
That was a commander? Okay.
Yeah, I knew it was Commanders. I just didn't remember if I wrote them down in the correct order to line up with the titles.
Which the characters that have military training would know that would be more fitting with a base leader.
We saw the Sphinx Observation Federation. We were explained the bathrooms.
Yep, mystical things.
Yes, we saw the board that had the United Kingdoms of the World, the Deific Union, the New Tulian Nation, Fey Dominion, and Northern Free Nation.
Mhm.
And we found a room full of various items. I got sunglasses, and I didn't write down what most people found, except for the fact that Telday found the Game Breaker TARDIS. And that's where we ended.
Yeah.
We also found out that Cass is not remembered as being what she looks like.
To be fair, neither was really Corvus.
We found a movie poster.
We found a movie poster. You were cast by an actress.
From a different world. Huh?
Okay, right. Go ahead and take a standard inspiration.
Cassiopeia Steel's hoof.
I will include one thing
Yeah.
because it's actually a major part for the story. We also were directly taken to an item we should not get to help secure the heavens that was made by Shax in a different timeline.
Ah, yes.
You are also aware in character that you already know a differing mechanism, so it's a little bit strange.
And also, we know that Denoran and Talal are with all of the rampant creatures down a different hallway than what we went to because they didn't come with us into this. and we all got shots, and that was also weird.
Yes, you
We got
are.
our first vaccinations.
You all got some weird temporal immunization shots.
It was really weird how they kept saying circle, circle, dot, dot right before they did it.
But we are going to pick up where we left off. Zelda, you are staring into a expansive room. It seems to be circular in nature, although you could argue it's some sort of hexagonal pattern you can see cornering. But it makes a pretty big circle overall. And in the center of it is a large tree. Seems to grow out from the floor. There seems to be some like a raised gantrying around it that covers up the roots. But this tree grows up through the center and erupts into branches that twine off and join into the ceiling and woolwork, and seem to be spotted with golden and purple leaves.
I'm going to lean in and look a little bit more, so I'm not actually going. I'm leaving at least like the
You're not
waist down,
stepping in,
outside,
yeah.
But yeah.
Yet you lean in, and it's immediately disconcerting because, like, you can lean in and you can see, like, I imagine you brace yourself on the frame of this to stop yourself from tipping in. Yeah.
Yeah, as I get further.
Yeah. Like you can see where your fingers wrap around the edge here. They don't appear on the other side. In fact, it sort of recesses back further. Like this doorway seems to be set inwards into this room, and there is clear space back where there shouldn't be any. Like you could reach around your arm and reach back past this door frame inside of this space.
Intriguing. Mechanically, I need a reminder about how bags of holding work.
Quite similar to a bag of holding.
Okay. So is it normal that you would see into a bag in a similar manner then?
Not really. Bags of holding do not give you quite a clear view. There's a lot of darkness and void and rummaging around, and somehow items come into your grasp. But this you would class this, I think, in your understanding of things as a similar extra planar space.
Okay. Yeah, that's kind of where I was going, is whether it was too detached.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Very similar to a magical mansion.
We've done it many
Quite
times.
intriguing. I am going to knock on the side, the doorway.
So the doorway has opened up inwards into this. When you say you're knocking on the side, are you knocking on the sort of part that's opened up into this area, or like on the sort of frame?
The frame.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, you knock on the frame, and it feels like solid plinth, as this is mimicking a support structure in this room. It's hard to call this a door so much as a section of this pillar that has opened up into this machine.
I am going to loudly say, "Wow, this is quite interesting," and then step inside at the same time.
Okay. All right. I'm actually going to need perception checks from everybody else for that.
The number went down again. I don't know why the number keeps going down.
Oh, it's a music player. It took me a moment to figure out what you were talking about.
It has a battery indicator on it.
Oh,
the
no.
number keeps
Gifted
going down.
wants number go up.
I'm just making sure I don't have anything for advantage or anything like that.
As we'll get a go.
Holy jeez.
Yeah.
Wow, Raz is too interrupted by what Gifton's doing.
Well, Raz and me are sharing earbuds.
Yeah.
Me and Raz are sharing earbuds.
Okay.
Okay,
yeah,
so
right.
Carrick, Corvus, and RG will actually bypass whatever perception or dream magic is obscuring this section, and we'll catch Telde actually saying that, and you will glance over just in time to see him vanish into a pillar.
Well, I don't see that, so I'm continuing to rock on with my music.
Are just gonna
Dream
look at
on,
it calmly.
dream on,
Oh.
dream until your dreams come
And
true.
then down again and go, huh, and then walk over.
Corvus
Anyone else
finishing
see-
packing the equipment that he gathered from the medic or the combat suit and stuff.
If you want to just pick up the med bag, you can. Yeah.
Well, he took everything. He unlocked the whole case, I believe.
You want to take the entire? This would be the suit and such.
The suit, the sword, and the med kit. Yeah.
Okay.
You have bag holding, so.
Yeah.
Did anyone else just see?
Yeah.
disappear?
Something I'm going to give RG because that's such a nice role. Each of you can feel something odd with the area that you were called to Telday. RG, you instantly recognise that feeling of your senses trying to be misled, being misdirected. That is eerily similar to your experiences so long ago with your first encounter with the Feywild.
This thing, it's acting like you remember back when we tried to go in the Fey where it didn't want us to see it?
We had Cass have to drag us in.
Yeah, it's the same thing.
Do I see anything of particular note, or is it obscuring with the true sight?
Your true sight is not revealing anything of note.
Our true sight might not be working because magic's different here.
Right,
Remember?
because magic. Yeah, that's right. Because as long we stay here, the
A lot-
magic depletes.
Well,
Yeah.
And it's technology-based stuff. List of the
yeah.
stuff.
I don't see anything of particular note. It just looks like a column, and he just walked into a column.
So
Ah.
yes, you also saw him disappear into the.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
he just did that thing.
Is something happening?
Gifton,
Yes.
take the weird thing out of your ear.
It's really good.
Right, but Tilde just disappeared into a column.
Let's hit this button again. The countdown might be to his explosion or something. Right.
Yeah, let's hit that one. Okay, we gotta hit this one. Wait, this one says stop. What is that? If we hit that, will the countdown stop?
Perhaps.
Why are you listening?
We think it's gonna blow up.
But it's giving you music?
Yeah.
This is one of the first genuinely interesting things I've seen in a long time.
It's a puzzle box. If we figure out what the music means, we can stop the bomb.
Okay, let's shelve that.
You're
for now.
making a lot of assumptions about that box.
Do you know what this box does?
No.
No, but I bet they do.
Plays music.
Plays music, obviously.
There's a number going down.
Okay, then make it stop going down.
I mean,
I'm trying to solve the puzzle. Okay.
I mean, it could be like a wand, and that could be charged.
Telday.
Yeah, I'm going to the tree.
Yep.
The last song to play is the final countdown.
As they're all sort of faffing about out there, you walk in closer to this tree structure and you step up onto the sort of gantry that covers the rootwork. And you can see consoles surrounding this. You're familiar with such things from the military bases. You've seen the Magitech computers as such. Seems quite similar. An assortment of dials, readouts. But it all seems to be sort of carved from wood. It sort of looks woodworked, except for the occasional bits of glass or shimmering mercury-like pools that seem to hold in place.
I wonder if you are a fey creation. You seem fey.
When you say that, there is a thrum, just a soft, low tone, and the sort of ambient light in the room seems to pulse briefly.
Oh. Can you hear me?
Another thrum and another pulse of light.
Gifton would be helpful here. She can speak with the light creatures. Perhaps you have a similar way of speaking.
There is a thrum, and then the walls alight. A series of flashes, not in a easy to observe spot, but just around you randomly in a seemingly erratic pattern.
Unfortunately, I do not know what you are saying.
There is no from
Sad lights.
and no light.
But I would like to. Please, I will go get my friend, see if that will work.
A from and a light.
Okay.
I think I understand.
Put it back on its pedestal. If we back away slow, maybe the number won't go down. All right, you said
Walk to
Telday
the
disappeared?
entrance.
Yes, he disappeared
And,
in that column of his.
RG will by this point actually be standing in front of the column. kind of
How does anybody
peering around
manage
it.
to get lost in the vault?
He didn't get lost. He
And
walked
on
through the
cue of
column.
her saying that, RG is just shoving her face into the bowl.
Right. Argy's head will vanish into this.
Like that.
Even for Cassie and Gifton and shamefully Raz, now that your attention is being rather forced in this direction, you two can observe this extra column that shouldn't be there.
But what about the rest of the part?
Echo is as attentive as ever.
On Corvus.
All right,
Huh.
well, Archie just decapitated herself, so that's lovely.
Yeah. Yep.
I mean,
Good.
I'm guessing.
RG, yeah, you can see this grand room. You can see Telday. I think Telday was sort of turning to come get people.
Mhm.
Didn't you,
Oh, look.
Archie, explore that tower and she did a similar thing?
Let's not draw too much attention to this strange anomaly in the room. And he's actually, Raziel's going to glance back towards the doorway where Tria is just working away on a datapad, seems to be communicating with somebody, doing the
Archie,
idle
can you go get
keep
Gifton?
watch.
I can do that. And RG will lean back and go, hey, Gift, and tell her wants you in there.
What? I don't have any magic.
Gifton, Raz is hooking your arm in his and is walking you over there.
Oh. All right, I'm going in.
Here, enough. Head on
RG's going
over
to step
to-
through too.
Raz is actually going to motion for everybody to move on in. Echo was just going, ooh, as she steps inside.
Yeah, that's Echo.
Gifton?
Mhm.
It's hard to quantify exactly what it is, but you are just struck with an overly familiar feeling looking at the tree in the center of this room.
I know this tree. Hello.
You know
Corvus
all the
is just
trees.
kind of spinning in a circle.
No,
inside
I
here.
know some of the trees, but I know this tree. I don't know why I know this tree, but I know this tree.
There is a thrum that you can all hear and feel, a flashing series of lights that dance around the room, and then a soft melody plays. One of the tunes Oberon tends to hum.
Who said that?
No, it's one of the tunes that Oberon has
Oh,
to
Oh,
say
it's
to
one.
hum.
Okay,
Mhm.
one of the tunes.
That's the
Oberon!
description, not yeah.
Is this tree Oberon? No.
There's
that can't be right.
a quick discordant noise that issues forth.
Perhaps from his lands, though.
Yeah, maybe. Are you from Oberon's
Maybe.
lands?
There is a happy chime that sounds forth.
I am going to try using the Zaharan whistles and lights.
You are met with communication. It comes out stilted at first, as if even that dialect is different to this thing.
I can
That's-
also try to speak with plants.
You can try that if you want.
Oh, I can't because there's no magic. So, I tried it; it didn't work. But yeah, then I'll do whistles and lights.
But you do
I'll do
try
whistles.
it.
Yeah, I do try it.
Okay. You try it and it doesn't work. However, the whistles and lights are responded with. First, it seems it's like somebody trying to talk to you in a language that doesn't quite match up. But then there's a few more flashes, and then you get understanding. Welcome.
Understanding and welcome. What is your name?
There is a long pulsing of lights of various colours dancing around the room, going up and down in waves along the walls. Looking close at the walls, it is a mixture of this sort of wooden and silver mercurial
Mercurial.
substance. The walls seem alive, and the light emanates from these silvery pools. And then you get a far shorter series, as that was essentially meaningless to you.
Mhm.
There is a pause, and then you just get a series that translates to Traveller.
Traveler. You have a very pretty name, though. I'm not sure if I can keep up to repeat it, but Traveler. Why are you in the vault? I think they keep living people in here.
Hold for message.
They said to hold for message. Is there anything anybody else wants me to ask? I'm just doing. I mean, I think
What
that they.
should
I
we
think they
hold?
understand us. I
There
don't
is
know.
Wait.
a soft click as the door you came in through closes. And then one of the panels surrounding this central tree trunk suddenly lights up, projecting an image into the air, much like your illusionary projections you like to use to show you off figures to people. Light emanating up, revealing a drow figure, clad in just a soft set of clothing, the cut and type unfamiliar to you. But I'd like investigation checks from anybody that's trying to look closely.
Nope.
I'm smart.
I'm sorry.
Wow,
Cass.
look at all of these.
Actually, wow.
Right, Telday and Carrick. It's a little hard to make out on this image because it's a small projection. Comes out about a third of the size of an actual person.
Ah, so brownies did do
It
this.
looks like a picture we saw out there.
What it looks like is you see a emblem on this uniform that matches the patterning on that captured suit of armor that they have out there.
The one that Corvus has.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
This image seems utterly still, not moving. And there's a few moments where the image seems to clarify, solidify a bit more, before suddenly it jolts into life, and a voice emanates from it. In here, this is Remiz Midhat of the Tulian Empire and the Time Consortium. If this message is playing, my mission has failed. But not all hope is lost. My friend here is set to respond to people of import, key figures from history who could best put them to use. I have hopes as to who. I may be talking to Gifton Botgren, perhaps Faude Forgehammer, many others possible. You and those that you call friends have altered things time and time again. You have always been a key part in the conflicts that occur across timeways. But we are running out of time, ironically. And final resolution must be made, and it cannot continue. We can all see the fracturing, the inconsistencies building upon each other. This is coming to a head. And if we cannot secure total victory, then I will beg you to at least make sure something of us lasts. We have lived time and time again. We are not a forgotten people doomed to tragedy. We have lived and flourished, and to ignore that would be a crime. I do not ask that you throw away everything you hold dear for our sake. I ask that you embrace us and find a way to bring us forth. Within this machine, there is a device that was to be utilized if we secured our hold here. A paradox machine to enable a future of the activators to exist even as their past is altered. I cannot guarantee the safety of the machine. I cannot guarantee the lack of side effects. But I beg you to give us a chance. Please. Do not let them strike us down. Do not let them end our culture. Salvaging something to bring it forth is a pale shadow of what we are and what we can be. I throw myself at your mercy. Traveler will show you what you need. And they just bow, and the image ends.
Please show us.
The machine thrums softly, and one of the walls, one of these mercury pools, opens up into a doorway.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Just
He's going to address the tree. If a message is being left, it would probably be prudent to maybe instruct what we're actually supposed to be fighting against. A little background knowledge would be helpful.
I think Corvus, what we know of the people in the vault, that they have to fight incursions from other timelines that don't continue. When
So we're
somebody time
fighting
travels
them.
and changes things,
Corvus.
then those timelines go
Yeah.
away.
There's a soft chime from one of the consoles surrounding the center of the trunk. A little flashing dot of light.
Corvus will approach.
Okay. You head on over to it, and there is a screen. Lettering seems to go across it randomly. Indecipherable alphabet, words you don't recognize, until finally you catch Brassian tongue. Looks close enough to understand, and it seems to solidify in that sense. And it seems to just start scrolling through history. Do you want to stay there and examine it?
Yep.
Okay. Is anyone else waiting around here, or do you want to go through that doorway that opened?
I'm heading through the doorway.
Yeah, the door is
Hold.
open.
Do
Give him a moment. He's
do we
looking at
have to
something.
jump at everything that appears in front of us? That's all I'm asking.
Perhaps we could do things at the same time.
That defeats the purpose of taking caution. We do
I
not
will
have
not-
any of our abilities. We have no idea what any of this is foretelling. Let's just chill the horses for a minute, okay?
Gifton. Another pattern of lights.
I'm gonna pay attention to what the lights are saying.
Safe.
What's safe? Is it safe to wait here, or is it safe to go in the other room?
You are safe.
I am safe. That is foreboding to hear, but I understand that you're saying that as a kind thing. I am being told that I am safe.
All.
I've been told to say that we are all safe.
I think it means that we're okay to kind of wait.
Yeah. But
Well, we are kind of out of the timeline at the moment.
I'm gonna talk to the tree. Am I correct to believe that when people time travel, it changes histories, and then the futures have to fight to keep existing? Is that what it is?
Sometimes.
Sometimes is what they said.
Or they cease to be. That was what we were told for the one we were in for.
Yeah. It was as if it never was.
Cast again.
Cast again. I try speak with plants.
Did you say cast again out loud?
I think she did.
I did.
Uh,
Yeah, she did.
I
I've been translating.
think it might. I wonder if it's meaning basically what happened with we did, where it starts over and may end the same, may end different. It's just a restart earlier in the timeline.
Funny enough, when you cast Speak with Plants again, for a moment you actually feel magic coalescing, trying to take hold before it filters out. There is another
okay.
thrumming, a strobing of lights, and then cast again.
Okay, I cast it again.
I think more solid takes hold. It feels like the spell almost comes to fruition.
My magic's starting to work.
Cast
That's a good thing.
again.
I cast again.
Quite intriguing.
Okay. You cast Speak with Plants.
Okay,
You feel the
I
spell
have
take hold.
done this a few times now. Okay. Well, I'm almost out of my speak with plants for the day. Thank you, Ellen.
I have adapted for your casting.
Thank you. I just wanted to see if it would work.
Your friends are free to utilize magic.
Okay, I will inform them. Everybody, you are capable of using magic again. The traveler has adjusted.
For those of you with true sight, it suddenly works in here.
Oh, that's probably painful.
Mm-hmm.
This tree is infinite.
Is it like multiple trees at once? Like
Yeah, it's
just
like
There's-
mirror trees. There's
There
like a
are-
mirror room.
There are trees overlaid on trees, branching out further than the room stretches.
Oh, God.
This room is bigger on the outside than it is on the inside. You can perceive that this small space that you're standing in is faster than you are perceiving.
So, Gifton, you have it constant, is that right, as well?
Yes, I have it innate. Yes,
Yeah,
I
okay.
try not.
It's
try
not
to
great.
Think about the event.
Yeah, of course.
I try not to think about the event. I try not to think about this.
He's stumbling around a bit, bending down, clutching the console with his hands.
I remember when I thought it was really cool that I could see things, but sometimes I really hate it.
That was not that.
It's so pretty though. Look at how many trees there are.
Yeah,
trees
and
is
I'm
that?
seeing colors again, so that's even more than. I'm seeing more than just colors.
Ah, your vision has returned. I see.
Yeah.
Is there anything on this console of use, Corvus?
Give me a moment.
Corvus.
I am curious how that looks now.
Thankfully, the console itself seems to be what it is. There is definitely a melding of magic and technology in here, even if it is some strange organic technology. It's technology nonetheless. You are able to read this console, Corvus, and it is detailing the history of the Tulian Empire. It is going to show you pictures, immense buildings reaching into the sky, taller than any structure you've ever seen. Strange vehicles, familiar, majestic beasts striding amongst towers of glass and steel. You will be able to see it just going through quickly, detailing achievements, notable figures, just seemingly random snippets of information that gradually stretch back and back further. And you can see it is detailing a Saharan people that never fell, that were never attacked, that were never put down, that never lost their god.
This is what they could have been. All right.
Hmm?
Basically, a very advanced civilization of prosperity and technology and advancement.
Yeah.
But it shows that they had no conflict, no detriment to their society of losing Heya, I'm guessing.
You mean the city never went?
Right,
All those people?
right.
The console blinks. Those images collapsing into what looks like just to be a single line on the screen, which is shifted off to the side and then grayed out. A new line emanating from the bottom of the screen, running alongside it and branching out. Only that is brought into view. You see a different history. One a bit more familiar. The fall of the Saharan people. The imprisonment of the god. But the early release. A drow team heading across to a strange country and succeeding in breaking out their goddess just a short time after she was imprisoned. You then see a timeline coming forth from this where the Saharan people retaliated. No tall glass structures, no majestic beasts, no peaceful society, just war and vengeance, ending in a ruined world.
Right, the world, not just their civilization.
Not just their civilization.
Everything.
Yeah.
Seems like
Yeah.
a coalition of other gods and nations fought back, and in the end, nobody won. And then that timeline is shifted off to the side, another brought up, and then another and another, showing variations of flourish, defeat, imprisonment, vengeance, cooperation. And then it just starts to display little dots on each timeline, showing incursions from other timelines. People coming back to try and improve events, alter events. It becomes a tangled mess. But soon, out of that tangled mess, become the solid timelines. Things that are recognizably repeating, things that are certain. And it quickly becomes apparent that for many of these, you are all involved somehow. There are notations of where various members of your group appeared. Sometimes the makeup's not the same. Sometimes there's 3 of you paired with 3 others. You recognise people from Tarnstead. You recognise people you might have seen in Colthwaite. Sometimes military people are with you. Sometimes there's way more than just the few of you that are here. Sometimes a couple of you stand alone.
That's worrying. That's in character.
Yeah, Corvus is slowly relaying this as he sees it. Not to double compound what you saying.
So these people are from which of these timelines?
That's what I'm hoping.
I'm asking.
Oh,
Traveler. Traveler.
Sorry.
Which timeline are your people from?
The most recent neighbouring timeline to this one.
Can Corvus manipulate the screen at all to move it around?
Can you please show us that one?
Whether it's your manipulation, Corvus, or it's Traveller just taking some context clues and helping you, it's hard to tell. But your fingers moving across the seam seem to have done something.
Okay.
As you are shown a small branching of timelines. There seems to be 5 or so in here. And one of them just lights up. And what you see is a timeline where you were all involved. Where you went back and you stopped Heya's imprisonment. Do you want to look at more details in this?
Yeah. This is one that also Thaldir's in.
Indeed, Valdir was alive in this timeline.
Is everyone else? I mean, is Talday around? Is Cass, RG, Saxon, Leo?
Do you want to ask Traveller for notable divergences?
Yes.
How are you addressing her? It, them?
This timeline here, your passenger companion mentioned that Telde was with you, or Telde was one of the notable, not Telde, sorry. Thaldir was one of the notable figures, as well as Gifton. There was no mention of others.
There is.
But there are several instances here that do have different groups, different combinations, but the one that you spoke of, or the one that your companion spoke of, where is that line exactly? Where is that divergence?
I think you're asking the wrong question, Corvus, because that person said there might be Thaldir with you, or there might be Gifton with you, or there might be any number of other important figures. And looking at all these different ones, look at how many different combinations there are. We should focus on just where that traveler was from, not what instance me and Thaldir were there together.
Oh, yeah. Okay, that's right.
Okay.
Yeah, we should check the line they're from, see who was there.
Just because they mentioned two important figures that they knew of doesn't mean that they were the ones in their timeline.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I will rephrase.
Yes. Traveler, can you please show us any differences between our current timeline and the one that you and the gentleman from the recording were from?
You wish to understand the differences between your timeline and the timeline of Remiz Midhat?
Yes.
There are at least 7 trillion differences. Would you like me to narrow them to the important ones?
Ones that would be ones that would be notable for the things that we would affect would be good.
Put it into this group here before you.
The Tarnstead Charter, formed of Thaldir Forgehammer, Cassiopeia Steelshod, RG Illyra, Care Brotgren, Gifton Brotgren, and Carrick Mask. Later to lose their companion Corvus Adalas to retirement, and to gain Louisois. You travelled back, with the aid of your companion Turiel. You prevented the imprisonment of Hea, settled a negotiation with the gods, with information abetted to you by the god Miris. You enacted the early imprisonment and treatment of Morgani. This altered your own personal timeline and resulted in a world where the Turian Empire never fell and was able to reach a peaceful accord with what it considered to be its aggressors. This world was not prepared for the end.
It wasn't prepared for the end when the dreamer woke up, right?
Correct.
So, in that timeline, Morgani's people don't go mad and they don't kill themselves. And Shaxan wouldn't have to go crazy.
There is a
And
small
foolish
conflict
people
in
wouldn't
Morgani's
die.
land thanks to the arrival of the first dragons. Some sided with their mother, others did not. However, the devastation pales in comparison to that which happened in your own timeline.
So,
Which one sided with their mother?
The ones that sided with Morgani, with peace, were the mental, the spiritual, the magical.
so this means that in their timeline, Hayes people didn't have to die. And Morgani's people didn't really have to die. But then the whole world died. And they sound like they just wanted to not end.
And this machine and your Ramses, was it? Ramses?
Ramis,
Ramir?
Mitat.
Matat.
Would you mind typing that up, by the way?
Mm-hmm.
They were from this timeline and trying to escape that inevitable end.
They were trying to
trying-
find a way to stop their end by their timeline and getting
Ramis
erased.
Mitat was not aware of the end. Ramis Mitat was only aware of the existential threat posed by time travelers from other timelines.
They were afraid of being erased by others acting.
There were active
way we are.
incursions into their world by time travelers from further along your timeline and other timelines.
Basically, he was trying to find a way to make it so they can't be erased. None of the timelines could. That's what it sounded like from what he said.
Or at least that the Tulians didn't have to go through the myriad of peaceful war, wiped out, staying around.
What would happen if we activate this device?
It is not entirely known. The device alters the rules of causality. Cause and effect are decoupled. Theory dictates that you are able to maintain the results of one timeline while preserving the actions and effects of another, essentially bringing in a past that is not possible into the future. Greater beings may be aware of these alterations. Others will simply compensate mental faculties overwritten to account for errors, discrepancies. Those that have
But
exposure
Would it
to
double the amount of people in the world?
population boom would be likely. However, there would not be duplicates. Entities would be merged to memories if they are able to maintain them.
Oh, I'd have multiple memories.
However, there will be divergences in family lines. There are likely to be extra people. We found cousins, sisters.
Would this mean
Husbands, wives,
technically
children.
just one
It-
timeline then? But
One singular
all-
timeline.
But what about people where they had different things happen in the two lines? Like in one line, I marry my wife, the other one I didn't. I married somebody else. Which one takes precedent? Did both?
The will of the activator is of import.
So the person who activates it might change the causality of how it airs on each individual life because of
So
their
if
will
you-
and what they're trying to accomplish.
And your own temporal imprint. The events that have happened to you shall be the ones held.
my
Yeah, but I'm
guess
saying, like,
is-
If you were to
If I'm
activate
to
it,
activate
RG,
But like, if Gifton activates it and there's that difference for me, which one takes precedent?
Her perception
by
of time
our-
shall be
would-
important.
You would
Mm.
be with Marissa still because I perceive you with Marissa.
I also think that means that if someone who wishes the best of all,
Carrick, are
deaths
you
would be
okay?
averted.
It's okay. Come here. I'm gonna go over and give Carrick a hug. It's okay. It's okay. Nothing's gonna happen to your family. It's all right.
Events closer to your own personal time frame will be the least altered. The further going back, the more divergence there shall be.
Is it better for somebody who knows history to do this?
It is irrelevant.
I've-
Okay.
That's what I was trying
I
to
think knowing
say.
history
I
would kind of
think.
muck it up, wouldn't it?
So, my guess is if someone
It
who
is your
wished
temporal
the
signature
best-
that is important.
Yes, and in the case of unrelated, maybe if you wish for the best of people, they get the best.
So what you're saying is we're getting gifted to turn on the machine.
Should I explain the exact mechanisms required to activate this?
Please.
I don't.
Your own future, present, I suppose, is the marker for that which remains technically unaltered, that is preserved. Taking the machine back to a point that is not your native timeline, and setting it to that point will then create the paradox. Any events going forthwith from there shall not alter the timeline. And yet they
So
will.
basically, we're splicing timelines into ours.
So we'd have to take it back to before Hea was imprisoned and then splice it there.
Correct.
And that's what they would need us to do.
If you wish to fulfill Remis Mitart's request.
Would we be able to still prepare the world for the dreamer if we did that?
I don't think
mean-
they'd know.
Well,
But
that if we're the ones that activated it, we do know.
Well, I mean, I think we do know because we already have everything we need to anchor the world. We know what Mirrors needs to do. We know what has to happen. We can still make that happen. That's us. That's not them. This is completely separate from that.
Would you
When
like
the
an
dreamer
explanation
wakes
of the
up-
psychological profiles of the gods and the consequences of Hea's unimprisonment?
Yes, please.
You speak of Miris' plan of sacrifice and betrayal. This has been successful in many timelines. It has also failed in a few. Failure tends to occur when they trust too much, really do not believe in his betrayal. The regret that is fueled from the imprisonment of Hea tends to be a vital part of their development.
But they'd still remember. They'd still know what they did,
Well,
right?
they wouldn't. It would be unwritten.
We do not know.
But
Higher beings may be able to recall. This is an untested device, untested theory. It does not fit with
Activating
our.
it have effect on it?
It does not fit with the laws of causality within the pre-dreamer awakening or the post-dreamer awakening.
Question. With the prosperity and peace, safety and security of Hea and the Tulian Empire, and their advancements into their future, what of the other races and nations and gods? What are their ramifications for that nation's development?
Which timeline are you inquiring about?
The one where Hea was not imprisoned.
Oh, by the way, you guys might be realizing now that despite not having cast speak with plants yourself, you are hearing the machine. Or the tree, whatever you want to call it.
Mm-hmm.
Timeline of Remis Midat. The Tulian Empire was on friendly terms with many nations. This includes the nation of Hexenreich in your modern time, Barast, Noran, continent of Isen, of Imor, of Mairi. The Havosian lands were at odds, but not in active aggression. The lands of Tamari did not have the best relationship. There were small skirmishes, small wars, but the loss of life pales in comparison to what has happened in your own timeline.
What about the people of Faramir?
The people of Faramir do not exist in this timeline.
And with us going to that timeline and splicing ourselves into it with this paradox machine, that leads to a understanding of the dreamer, which will then help with post-dreamer awakenings syndrome.
Yeah.
But all of our work on how to hold it up would technically
Would
not
be
have
have to start
existed
over.
because Faramir wouldn't exist.
Correct.
Faramir may exist, or it may not. Your own perception of your modern time should guarantee its existence. However, the long lives of the Faramirian people, or the long unlives, will call into question the further reaching back aspects of this causality alteration. I think it's guaranteed.
We just have to deal with the backlash because even though we're not causing an actual.
It is a paradox. It is an actual paradox.
Yeah.
They're making something that should not be.
And we don't know what the ramifications, the timeline will be, and what will and won't.
Would you like to
What-
know the additional lives that will be added in the Tulian Empire?
A number, at least.
In your current day, discounting the future that you have been shown, there will be an extra 150 million Tulian citizens compared to your current Saharan nations.
That's a lot of people.
The timeline that we are on, our timeline,
Yes.
it extends past the awakening.
The timeline that you are currently on is confluence, a conflux. Your future is not identifiable, not guaranteed. It branches still.
Are there brownies in the timeline of Ramez Midhat?
Yes. The interference of your group in their timeline caused a very favourable few of them from the goddess Hea. The brownies prosper.
So Oberon still kills Satanya.
Yes.
I kind of get a feeling that might happen before we actually the book we're going back to.
No, it hadn't happened yet.
It happens quite some time after the
Yeah.
late imprisonment of Hea.
I'd just shrug and just go, I don't know history.
Well, I have a question.
Yes.
Would the centaurs exist at that point?
Yes.
Are the Fae still wild
At which point in the timeline?
in the Ramirez Midhat in a comparable position to ours? Do the towers not light? Do the remnants of Lolasil still corrupt?
The Fae people are healed.
Okay.
Ramir's Midhat's timeline is one of the 47% of total timelines where I am created. I am a union of Tulian Empire and Fae Dominion technology and magic.
It is nice to see that.
If we were to do all this, would there be people trying to stop us from doing preparing for the dreamer just from not knowing.
I do not understand your question.
If we do this, would we have to start encountering people or going back to try and stop it?
No. I guess that is a good question.
Then I shall address that question. You are very unlikely to encounter further time travelers beyond the organization that you are currently situated in the halls of. The timelines have coalesced. Many have collapsed. Very few remain. There are now two major factions at play, if you count. The machine actually falls silent for a second. If you count my former crew's existence as still being eligible. If you discount them due to their deaths and their lack of influence, possibly on you, then there is only one major temporal faction left at play.
The ones who said they're calling the shots.
Correct.
Is that the gentleman?
It is the ones who are in charge of this vault.
It is not the gentleman. The Sphinx Initiative are the faction that you are currently in the grounds of. The gentleman remnants were actually involved in the creation of one of my factions, led by Corvus Adalas.
For good or for not so good?
I would assume that they would presume good.
Objectively, I would say good.
Okay.
Corvus Adalas was involved in a purge of corrupt members and led them to a more scholarly approach. When temporal warfare became apparent, their efforts were redirected thanks to their abilities.
Because of the whole slice you go back in time thing.
The two futures are mutually exclusive. They cannot coexist without a paradox, correct?
Correct.
So does that mean the Sphinx Initiative and your group would, in theory, if we did this, end up all on the same timeline coexisting?
Potentially. Or not.
I hope
Could the
they
Sphinx
would.
do something about the machine?
Sphinxes are unable to prevent my passage, nor could they interfere with the activation of the paradox machine, although they would be quite aware of it.
Oh, Tammy will be annoyed with us.
I think annoyed is...
Gibson's gonna have a sit.
I'm concerned that people may think we're crazy about the end of the world, is what I am concerned about, and try to stop us from preparing for the dreamer.
If you are concerned about your allies, your own knowledge of them should preserve their own thoughts and feelings as to your opinions. However, if that is not a guarantee to you, then you may harbor them.
I'm not worried about our allies. I'm worried about those who more would be, I guess, considered an unknown.
Clarification. We are not splicing our timeline and Midhat's timeline far into the past. We are splicing at exactly our moment
we
of
would
existence.
we would be splicing it at the Tulian Empire's fall. Before
At the
that,
time of
so
Hayes
because
imprisonment.
that would save all that's the major divergence points of our timeline. We'd start splicing there, and then all those people that would exist in both timelines, and both
In
sets of
layman's
events would be
terms,
kind of true and weirdly weaved into each other.
in layman's terms, you would not have alternate branching futures. You would have alternate branching paths.
Yeah, both got to the same point, different routes,
Mm-hmm.
and then leave from that point.
Which means
same.
we would still need to save Hevos. Or not. I don't know.
I mean,
It depends what path you take.
it's at that point we're then going forward with whatever we need to as time continues.
So we go before her imprisonment, which did not happen. then from that point we advance to what we need to go to in what our current objectives are.
Yep.
We would not
And
be having to prevent Havos according to that timeline.
In
Remember,
the new timeline, Hale would be at full power and would not be susceptible to the strikes of Morgani if she was left unimprisoned.
that was the other one. Is if I remember, Traveler, you
She'd be
said
way
that
powerful, yeah.
no, that we worked on imprisoning Morgani early.
At an earlier time.
You have worked on imprisoning Morgani on multiple points in the timeline.
And even without that information, it would be if Hea is at her more powerful because she lost a bunch of power sending us back in time, right?
Gifton's putting her head in her hand.
She'd
This
be
is
without the need of that, so she'd be back to whatever her power should
I'll
be.
push the damn button. I'm just gonna say it. I'll push the damn button. As far as my current leaning, if anybody wants to know my vote, I hate that we can't help Hea's people, and that hurts. And I can't imagine having heard that man's plea that we could save them, and we're turning away from that, knowing that all those people could be okay and it's a risk. But that's my vote, and I think everyone else's opinions are completely valid on this, because I can totally see why you wouldn't want to do it.
Do the Warforged still exist?
I assume with the perception thing, it's if you think the Warforged exist, they do.
You would be there, so they would have some sort of
In
anchor.
the timeline of Ramiz Midat, the Warforged ceased to be.
Cease to be.
You were part of the group that attempted to correct the timeline. They originally existed, and then they did not. You were the sole remainer.
I see.
However, the Paradox machine should be able to preserve them. But there is no guarantee.
It is a singular person who activates it?
Those within the Paradox machine's confines will be considered those that have activated it.
So it would not rely simply on one of us.
Oh,
That's a bit
thank
of a relief.
God.
Yeah, honestly, out of character, that was the big fear that I had.
I'll be honest. Gifton's been sitting here going, maybe Telder's the good choice.
Raz is actually
here."
frowning and looking over at Telde and going, what about us, those of us with exceptionally long lives and memories? Would our perceptions of past events cause trouble? Possibly.
By trouble, you mean insanity or confusion?
Sanity and confusion on the person, or irregularities that have become apparent and damaging to the timeline.
And that would also translate, I am guessing, to ones who have had their personalities, time ripped apart.
I do not understand your question.
That is a weird one.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure either.
There are many instances of Corvus Adalas.
The only Corvus Adalas that shall matter is the one within the machine.
It's your
Oh,
experiences, even if they're memories of somebody else, it won't matter. It's
yeah,
the fact
those
it's
would
the
matter.
fact that if you know too much, you're gonna solidify too much of the timeline, and then there'll be inconsistencies between the two over a larger
And
broad.
that's his
And
concern.
those of us who've been alive a shorter amount of time will do the least damage,
Yeah.
which means Telde and Raziel
Raz.
would be the.
What about me?
Biggest
Echo's putting her
robots.
hand up.
Oh, and Echo. Yep, Echo's
and
Echo's
Echo.
got several. Echo's actually the worst. Echo can't go in there at all.
The core has had a limited perception.
I was to say she was locked in the vault.
Oh, okay. Maybe
She
Echo
had
can be
just
in
the
there.
vault.
So
It might please you to know that your current group makeup is unique.
interesting. How many times
How
has Raziel made
so?
it to the vault?
Raziel has made it to the vault on at least 75% of timelines.
Hey, see, you do it.
Raziel has
just
made
failed in this one.
it made it to the vault twice on only 13% of timelines.
Who?
Who has?
Raziel.
Yeah, as in
He's returned.
no,
vault.
yeah. Well,
Oh,
I'm
my first
guessing
incursion in, and then this time, I'm
This time.
supposing.
Oh,
Are we going to be able to imprison Morgani if the first dragon's already dead? Or not there? Everything we have for
mentioned something
that.
I mean,
This depends which tactic you wish to utilize. 13% of groups used the call to summon the first dragons at an earlier point and imprison them, triggering Project Tiamat early. An additional
Wait.
6% used the call to summon them and then defeat them early.
Echo, you can summon the first dragons?
I mean,
Uh-huh.
from what
don't-
y'all told me, they're the same kind of not of this world thing, right?
You're right.
So like and call like.
Echo's a person.
Get
We
what I mean? Captain?
When you mean
felt
the call, do you mean
disturbance in the
echo?
existence.
Yeah.
You get what I mean, Captain.
0.5% have attempted to go back further.
What do you mean further?
To save
Stop the cycles.
Lalasil.
Ugh.
Unfortunately,
That would change quite a bit.
their and my demise was dealt at the hands of the Nothing.
Is that the
So what you're saying is bad idea.
No, the Nothing is the one of the first dragons.
Last first dragon.
Oh, that was the last first dragon. That's right. Yeah.
Is not a.
Its power is great between points of existence.
So the farther you travel, the more likely it is to.
The gaps in the cycles, the times when the gods lay dormant and the world is lifeless.
There's more nothing.
So my guess is nothing's tried. None. There's been nobody who's tried to go all the way back into Loris.
There has.
So
Wait, you can take us all the way to Lalasil?
I mean,
There is no
just
limitation
I
on
mean,
how
if-
far back I could attempt to travel.
said he could take us to Loris.
yeah, it's a time thingamajig, so just
Lord.
Technically, I think Traveler here could take us all the way back to
When
the Dreamer when it was still awake.
I do not believe that I could reach the
That'd be
dreamer's
beyond reality.
slumber.
Yeah.
I am
because-
from what you would consider beyond reality already.
But you probably could appear at the first moments that the Dreamer made this.
My own timeline could only take me back into the dreamer's slumber. I am tied to the existence of your world.
Yeah, the traveler's anchored to this.
I believe Carrick means that on the first cycle, when the gods first awoken, you could take us back
Yeah.
to then.
Yeah.
Correct. If I were
But
not to
no.
encounter problems.
Yeah.
Yeah, my guess is
Probably get some turbulence on the journey.
Yeah.
I mean, if
That'd be some bumps.
if
I mean, we'd probably
nothing-
get all the gods trying to kill us, because I don't think they'd be up for listening at that point in time.
I mean, it'd be their first go through. They might be friendly
more open.
However,
even.
or
no instances of myself have successfully travelled past the Nothing.
but the Nothing shows up at Lalasil.
No, it shows up at
No.
the in-between times, during the god's slumber, after the death of
every
Lalasil. Well, before the death of Lalasil, rather.
Yeah, my guess is it appears at the point of creation of the first.
It exists then, and has most power between cycles.
When a new cycle begins, it's
Because
most
there is nothingness.
there is
There's
absence.
a whole
there is
lot of
nothing.
stuff. Conversely, if we do this, it'll make it weaker because there's more not nothing.
It's just a little chippy.
Fear me,
mean-
I am nothing.
We'd just be going back still within this cycle. If we go back to prevent Hea from being imprisoned.
Well, that's what I'm saying, is that if we have to fight it, if we do have to end up fighting on this cycle, then it'd be weaker because we'd be making more things be there. So that's nothing.
We combine two lines together, filled in the gap.
I do not advise travelling back past the cycle. It was desperate attempts in dire timelines. It would, even with the paradox machine, irreparably alter your current present.
Was Lawless the last, like, going into this cycle? I'm
Yes,
out of
she was
character.
the immediately previous cycle was Lawless's death. That's I assume why two gods got busy when they were feeling weepy about their dead sister and made a Hea.
Oh, I thought
That's
I
out of character conversation.
Okay, I was going to ask.
Yeah.
Okay, if
Out
that
of
was in
character.
character with me, that makes sense a little more Marvel.
But yes, for
Yeah.
just to clarify for people, the rebellion war in heaven happened at the end of the previous cycle. Ladasil rebelled because she did not want to slaughter her heaven, essentially, and then when she was killed, they then started the defilement, and then the dormancy, and then the building anew.
And that's why Raziel's been aware for 2 cycles.
Yes.
This one and the previous one.
And just to clarify on the hair, that wasn't there something that they were noticing with the missing god? There was something going wrong.
Yes, they basically there were multiple ramifications to Lalasil's disappearance, which people might notice some discrepancies now that you're more aware of how the gods were before. They found that the dreamer was basically slumbering for longer.
Corvus walks over to Gifton, sitting on the floor, and he will sit down next to her.
Greetings, welcome to the floor crew.
I'm just going to say this. I know I've been problematic at times, but no matter what I think or devise or speculate, what this option is giving, it is a better treatment to a lot of the issues happening. Despite that, there will still be conflicts on our end for our continued work. But as a whole, it will be a healthier system.
It's a better fix than a lot of the band-aids we were trying.
Yes.
What would happen to Telde and Raziel if they are not in the machine?
Raziel will get a new memory set, and with any luck, Telde would keep existing.
Raziel
They were
does not currently have the essence of a higher being, correct?
No.
He would likely see memory overwritten, although there is a possibility that it would be maintained based on your perception of him. The same goes for Telde. There are no guarantees.
He's already had his mind Swiss cheesed already.
Please, don't be cruel about it.
I'm just stating the fact.
Raziel's gonna
It may cause a lot of issues when those holes get filled in.
What if they're not filled in?
Then it could be bigger.
Logistically, those holes are ones for memories that, I'm sorry we're putting it this way, but his dad decided he didn't need. That's differential from
Correct.
us changing
I return.
around the timeline and writing out the ones that are already there.
No matter what, I don't think the sanctity of my memory is worth the lives of, what was it, 130 million?
Yeah, 100.
The
It
question,
is millions.
the question is, if you are in the machine when it activates, are you willing to take that risk, or would you be more comfortable finding out what happens?
I think I'd need to think about it for a moment.
Yes.
Well, luckily enough, you have a moment right now.
But
Yeah.
I think, and it's going to look at you, Teldy, and goes, I think it's worth the risk either way.
Yes.
There are different risks associated with both choices.
And there's a lot to think about, like what we are going to alter. But
But if I use the wand on you and we make you into an angel right now, and I don't know, can you go into sleep mode till day? Maybe if you're not awake, it'll be okay if we bring you in.
it's certainly an option. And
I mean, because if we do this, you'd be an angel again anyway, right?
I would.
That's kind of also one of the problems, like Raz not angel, Raz angel, and then try to merge the two.
I mean, that just would go to whichever one.
Yeah,
Like,
it
I'd
would go
just
the
go to whichever one would
priority.
be.
I
Whichever
mean,
one we pick that.
But the
and-
problem is that it's angel, that higher being stuff, maybe trying to sink its feathers in.
I have been spending quite a bit of my time learning about people. It would be a shame if they would get lost.
Out of character, for Telday, your
Mm.
companion, your Dulcent,
Mm.
are we as a party members know of it, or is that just an
No.
internal thing for you? I think Saxon was at one point.
Shax definitely knew about it.
Yeah.
Jack's knew about it. But I
But
think he was
we
the only
have no
one-
knowledge of your little buddy.
My magic works here. I could preserve that information for you till day with a wish spell.
That's a question. How would a witch spell affect this sort of thing?
Well, I was thinking not to mess with that directly,
Asking
but
the computer.
and
It's
I
a thing,
Computer.
not computer.
oh, I was just thinking that if I used wish, I could make a duplicate of you till day. It would have all your memories. A simulacrum.
there is potential for this solution to work. However, there are no guarantees.
Or I could just wish that all the stories you've collected appeared in books and that we just had a bunch of books. I don't know. I'm just trying to think things through.
There are theories and possible solutions. Would you like me to share them?
Please.
Please remember, there are no guarantees.
I understand, and we can't get our money back.
I do not understand.
I heard it on the box.
I think she's saying there's only one shot.
The
Yes.
Sphinx Initiative utilized stasis devices. Such things have been used to preserve things through temporal change. Such a thing may work on Telde, Raziel.
That is
If
whether or
that-
not you want to.
If that is the choice, and they are held in a temporal lock of sorts, would there then be two instances?
Theoretically, yeah, because there'd be no person to change.
Possible.
So we'll have an Angel Raziel and a Raziel, a
And
Telde
Raziel.
and a Telde.
You could then utilize
Raziel, no,
a temporal merger device. Although those are highly controlled and restricted.
But you have one, obviously.
What
I do
happens
not.
with you after we do this? Are you
But
sticking around?
That would be killing the secondary.
I would be bound.
Bound to what we create.
The paradox machine intertwines with my circuitry.
You are a part of it.
Correct.
I mean, tell day that'd be no more killing one of them than killing the other people merged together by this.
If we do this directly, it is different than if we do this and create a second and then merge it. It exists then.
I have 137,000 books on moral philosophy. Would you like me to display them?
Oh, thank you. Morals haven't gotten us this far.
New party motto.
We know what we're.
Morals, what are they?
We know what we're about.
Yeah, I mean, either way, we're forming two of things and basically merging them together to one, so it's same either way.
So, what is your thoughts then, Carrick? You sound like you don't want to do it.
I am concerned that we are basically making a timeline that is just going to end when the dreamer wakes.
I mean, theoretically, if all the people that we know have their knowledge preserved by us thinking, hey, they should have this knowledge, then theoretically we just gain more hands, more people,
Well, in
more
that case,
things to
if
do
it's
it.
all the people that we think of, then it would be the gods that we're allied with, right?
The gods we're allied with, people of Firmir, regardless of where they are at the time. Stuff
Well,
like
If they
that.
still exist.
Anyone that's looking at the
Anyways.
displays, it is actually displaying books on consequentialism. Next to what Gifton
I'm
said.
gonna kind of flick through them.
You get the gist of the ends justify the means is this philosophy.
Next.
Totally like, I reject your moral high ground and substitute my own.
So, like, the question I was going to say is that wish magic's kind of this be all end all stuff, right? Like, it
It's not quite
supersedes a lot.
that
We
great.
heard from the gods that it does rip things apart.
And there's some
So-
things it can't do, like I can't wish Raziel back into being an angel. So there are limitations to it.
Also,
It's
be
just
careful just saying wish a lot,
I
because
still say
Also-
I mean,
wish,
there's
wish, wish,
more
wish.
than just saying the
I
word.
have to weave my fingers like this.
Also, if Morgani was fixed, as it were, in the other
Fixed.
timeline, the reason Gifton's been able to get away with as much as she does with Wish is because Morgani's not paying attention, and normally Morgani would be like, "No."
I'd be thrilled to get out the other half of my question.
I didn't realize you were still talking about it. Sorry.
Yeah, I'd ask because I had a second part of that. Because, like, if you right now wish for their two memories and who they are to be preserved, would that carry over on the activate? Is a thing I'm asking,
Unlikely.
so you have what-
There are no
it's a question
guarantees.
to answer.
Basically, we don't know.
Yeah.
We don't know any of the real consequences of our actions if
Ramiz
we do
Midhat
this.
described the activation of the paradox machine as a leap of faith.
God damn it! It's a quantum leap machine.
A what?
No.
I mean, being real, when have we ever known the consequences of our actions?
When we went back in time and erased an entire timeline to substitute it with a better timeline.
Did we know any of the consequences have happened since then?
The world didn't end.
That's the only part we know. Just saying that, like, we're used to making decisions without having the full story. We need, if we're going to decide on this, we should make the decision instead of attempting to find the full story when we're clearly not getting it. Like, a lot of the information is just kind of non-committal shrug stuff.
It would. I know what it would do to me. It would put me in circles of questioning, and I'm tired of doing that.
Is this any consolation? Even Ramiz Midhat and his team were not certain of their course of action. But they made a
I'd be
choice.
terrified of anyone who was certain about this kind of decision.
They were desperate.
Desperate for an end to conflict. Desperate for survival of the people, yes.
So we put it to a vote.
Sounds like best course.
A majority vote, or do we need to be unanimous?
Let's see how it goes and then decide. Raz just smells variety.
I guess that's the best way to do it.
It's reckless and it's dangerous, but I think it's the closest to coming making a choice away from my father's decisions that I'm ever going to get, so I'm for it.
I'm for it.
Probably break me even more. I'm for it.
Saving people's good, Echo just says with a nod.
Yes, I'm for it.
Well, I'm for saving the people of the Tuli Empire. And the people of Exonite. I wish to save the dragons.
What about you, Carrick?
I'll say let's do it.
Sounds like we're unanimous anyways.
Dingus.
Oh
Dingus,
my gosh.
Yes, what do you say?
Dingus has just been staring vacantly ahead of himself this entire time.
He deserves the chance.
Little gears grind and click away before his head tilts side to side and then the other way. He looks up at you, Gifton, and just goes, save people now and
Wait, what?
in past?
I'm assuming she's gathering this out of these shapes. And
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
These are very complex thoughts for him to put into
I
Colours.
thought he was actually speaking.
No. Gifted, you can tell he is actually trying to understand and quantify the idea of saving people that don't exist, and not only just like in your present, but like a whole history of people that didn't exist.
Oh, Gifton's got this proud look of, my gosh, his brain power just like tripled. Oh,
there's a little bit of smoke coming out of one of the girls.
Dingus says that he would like to save the people that do and don't exist together.
Dingus bobs his head.
Then it seems we will try.
Yep, let's get done.
I mean, I don't know if I could handle my conscience if I didn't try.
Forgive me, I did not realize I was in the presence of the Platinum Dragon.
The what?
The what now?
The Platinum Dragon, past monikers, Lord of the Bridge, Dingus.
Who is the Platinum Dragon?
The Platinum Dragon is the counterpart of Morgani, a draconic god.
What?
Oh, okay.
Dingus just bobs his head.
RG falls to the floor laughing.
He has been known as the consort of Morgani in some timelines, in others, the opposite of Tiamat.
Consort of Morgani.
Oh, Dazzle's going to smack him for that.
You know,
Dingus.
Dazzle is in Morgani.
Dingus.
In other timelines, he has been the
That's-
opposite of Tiamat, the one to balance her out.
Well, aren't you Mr. Important?
out of character, I am glad to know that the platinum dragon has a brain of a pseudo dragon.
Don't worry, he gets smarter as time goes on.
Oh,
Gets a
are
little
you
bit
the
brighter.
platinum dragon? Because mommy gives you platinum to buy eggs? Is that what
His
you
head's bobbing happily.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Then you just get a flash of God of Eggs, God of Eggs.
To buy eggs.
Yeah, I give him platinum pieces so he can go buy eggs.
There are
Oh, was she
farms across
saying-
the entire swath of Barras that are just depleted.
Listen,
Everyone's
he
getting chanting in the heads of egg basket in association with a platinum piece.
Yep.
Before
One
I
egg basket
continue,
for a platinum piece.
Arjun's gonna go, Corvus, you saw her do this. I've seen her do this.
I
Let me
thought
do
it was a
for
piece of
year.
silver. I couldn't see color.
It was when you could see color. It was in Southwest time and the other places.
It doesn't
You did it
even matter.
everywhere.
I have erased that from my memory.
I'm
What
sorry, travelers
happens
are angry about the
with
platinum thing.
Gifton,
The coins are also different.
Shut
What?
up.
Gifton and the essences.
Yes,
Oh, yes.
they will be
Did I
preserved
say
in
that?
her form.
Okay, I'm going inside then.
Do you have
Oh,
the
we
mirror
said-
essence then?
I'm afraid that when I opened the hat, it was already misting away.
I see.
So you. Oh. Okay.
But I just said
I'm
it was
rolling it.
entirely true.
Deception from you, Gifton, I guess.
Okay.
Because while there
Yeah, I
is
guess
an
I
element
should
of truth to
probably-
it, it is still deceiving.
Yeah, I guess I should
Given how
roll
crappy
that
that
too.
roll was, I hope you can beat it.
Rolling a deception.
Embrace your fate, Gifton. No.
I'm going to go ahead and use a luck point because I can reroll that.
Okay.
Ha!
Ooh,
Right.
Ooh,
In
dodgy.
In that case, I am applying Telday's dice roll, which is a -4
And-
to his insight.
And then
Mhm.
I'm wheeling it. 28. The tie.
I'm gonna use a card to reroll mine.
Okay.
we're playing games here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Jesus Christ, my dice hate me today.
No, they just favor
I'm
Gifton.
not adding anything to mine.
You're gonna let the dice go as they go?
Well, I was there when she got it, and it didn't seem to be unraveling. So I'm going to believe her. That's the only reason I rolled. I am not going to add anything to mine.
Right. As far as most of you are aware, Gifton speaks the
He's
truth.
oblivious.
Excuse me, I do need to roll somebody very important.
Oh no, somebody who knows me way too well.
Oh.
No, somebody who knows my tells. God damn it.
Raziel remains silent.
You have 2 Beerus's.
Well,
I know this will be 3.
I'm also kind of compelled to lie about this because that's what it was. So I'm
See,
gonna lie.
I have told her that she has to. She
Yeah.
she
I
should
have
be
to
lying
try
about
to
things.
decide-
Yeah.
I have to lie about this.
See, the funny thing is, Telday's question was meant more as like, is it going to be okay?
You've
it
just learned it's
gone?
dead.
Yes.
it's dead, Jim.
Well, let's go into this next room.
One question. What about all the people that are being held in the temple?
I'm certain that that's gonna all timey-wimey itself out.
Or that's a problem we can solve after.
There are
Would you
multiple
prefer that-
paths depending on when you decide to do things. If you travel them through and then activate the paradox machine, that will be interesting.
I'm
That's a
guessing
weird
we're
thing.
not going to lean our heads out of this door and wave at our hosts and say goodbye.
It is possible that the people that existed in the past can still exist in the future.
If we're leaving this place,
My music
we-
box.
should we grab this?
The pillar.
How are we going to grab a pillar? We're supposed to disassemble it and learn of its
I am-
construction.
Capable. I am traveler.
You can bring
You
it
can
with
bring
us.
back, or bring it,
I can take you wherever you wish to go.
so we could come back here and get it.
I mean, that and logistically might not be as necessary because you can probably just think, hey, maybe the lizard guy shouldn't be crazy.
Saxon.
Traveler, what is the condition
I'm
of
playing the character who doesn't know
Yeah,
shit
yeah,
about
yeah.
it.
Roche Scholar in r-
What Scala?
Remiss me Tat's
Riptide.
timeline.
Thank you. Yes.
At what point in time do you wish to inquire about this?
How long? Out of character. How long has it been since everything with the pillar?
Your present day? The future?
Yes. Let's start with present day.
In present day, Shaxon Rotskala is currently fighting on a small skirmish in the eastern borders of Hexenreich.
Since we've done a little bit, is that which side is Faramir on?
Eastern borders. Which you know Faramir doesn't exist to them.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm asking out of character. I'm sorry.
It was
It's
north.
basically it's actually southeasternly.
Oh, south.
Okay, so
Yeah.
it could be over in that neck of the woods, but they didn't have it. But something. Okay. That means he's still in Hexenreich. In
But
that timeline, did he travel with us at all?
No.
yeah, so he would not be exposed to what we have.
Which means we would possibly need to have someone else to fill that gap.
Yeah. Or
Yeah,
like
technically,
the
books out.
traveler said, we can
Come back. here.
take it back and deal with the consequences of.
Or we could just do what Maris told us to do and go take parts of Lawsville and put them up in the middle of the heavens and make the little tower thingies.
We got options.
Yeah.
Okay.
Out of character, because I just want to re-clarify, or rather confirm. Mechanically, we are grafting the world we've existed in, the characters that we've known,
Mhm.
onto this alternate timeline, which will be the basis of its existence. Or is it the opposite?
It's more of a 50-50. Close connections are far more likely to stay the same, and the events surrounding them and enabling them to happen should maintain consistency. So your own offense, at least to you, should be the same, and those close to you should be very, very similar. But there are liable to be some inconsistencies,
Nothing is guaranteed.
and there may be differing memories between different people.
Yeah, it's yeah.
But essentially, yes, you are grafting your present onto a different timeline, is a good way to put it.
Okay.
And then just imagine that trying to reach back and fill in the dots.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's given.
It is an impossible
It's-
thing that's happening.
Yeah, it's the easiest analogy I could think of is it was one of those two, and
Mhm.
yeah. Great. Now I have memories of sliders going through my head.
Traveler, could it be that there is so many differences that the machine couldn't actually do it? Like, so
Unlikely.
many things that counter. Okay.
The machine will be able to do it no matter what. However, the greater inconsistencies, the more erratic the timeline may be. However, this plan was enacted with the realization that this timeline should, within reasonable action, be compatible.
Yeah, from everything they were saying, it did seem like it was made to work out with specifically. Ideally. Maybe. I'm not a scientist.
You are. You're a mixologist.
No, but alternate RG was a scientist, so
I'm sorry. I see RG definitely being one of those people who's like, I am not a mixologist, damn it.
Well, shall we do it?
May as well.
Yes, before I have second thoughts.
wow,
Y'all,
this is
have
going to
you
be
had
a
enough time to
short
think
session.
about what you want to do?
What was that, Gishton?
Raziel, have you had a moment to think about what you want to do?
I'm thinking about it. However, we're saying let's do this. What are the steps to doing this?
We go back
Right.
and we prevent
How
Pea's.
do we prevent it? And what do we do from thenceforth? Do we then go on to try and stop Morgani early, or are we doing it? We need to decide what we're doing exactly.
Okay, so what caused the other gods to turn on Hea?
Yes. His existence, basically, and how she believes.
His existence was a concern. These fears were further exacerbated by the manipulations of Miris and the conflict with Morgani.
So we convince them that Morgani's actually a problem. That'd lessen some of that. He wouldn't have a reason to put her away.
You have multiple avenues. Some attempts were taken to prove Morgani's innocence in the affairs of Hayes' people. She was not to blame. However, you still need to establish her growing destabilization. A lie can help prove that point further, but can create further animosity with Hea and Morgani in future.
Sorry, I don't know that one.
Shut up, computer!
That's a computer.
Beautiful.
Beautiful. Oh, I'm not smart.
It's hard thinking of a question out of character you want to ask and going, my character's not smart enough to fucking think of that.
I'm not clever. Ow. My head hurts.
We could always
Damn it.
cheat and then have a player tell another player whose character would conceivably be able to think of the question so they could ask that because we're cheating cheaters.
Mm-hmm.
I think the appropriate response from Sam at that point is, hey, Carrick.
I must warn you that if you are to leave with me, the Sphinx Initiative are likely to become aware of my presence and may send pursuers.
Yep.
So we've got one shot, and if we're in this, we're whole ass in.
You may have many shots, however, you must be willing to deal with pursuers.
Gifton will turn them into friends, as she always does.
This has been displayed on many timelines.
I feel like you guys think my existence is a joke.
No, you have been quite
Give me
terrifying
friends.
on multiple timelines.
Given you make
See?
friends with literally everyone, look at the group around us, for God's
You
sake.
show me the timelines where I'm scary.
Oh God. Okay.
Just shows this current timeline.
So there will be multiple images displayed. On a few of them, you see Gifton in full angelic glory, swinging a burning sword, blood flying around her, leading what looks like to be an angelic host. In others, there she is in full Fey Lord regalia, a crown of sort of antlers growing from her head, seemingly just stroking dominated people as if they are pets and playthings, holding a bloody knife, and so many little variations of such things.
One with
And then this one.
The Fey aspects seem to outweigh the angelic displays.
I think I know this answer, but are there timelines where I fall under Morgani's insanity?
Yes. Would you like to see these?
Hey, everybody, want to play What If?
Who wants
Oh.
to see our worst selves?
The answer, Carrick.
I don't know if you're. I said yes.
Okay. The timelines where you fought under Morgana's influence. You see a timeline where supposedly far earlier than a lot of the Draconic Madness began. You are destroying Tarnstead. How you came into your Draconic power early or why the madness began then, not sure, but there you are. You see yourself weeping over Talia's body. You see yourself standing triumphant upon Lynn. You see yourself taking part in a Draconic host attacking Colthwaite. And many other variations.
Wow.
We are likely to be able to find the best of ourselves and the worst of ourselves in other times.
Correct.
I honestly think I'm the worst of myself, so. Everything's
Oh, I
just
doubt
fine.
that. Look, if I'm not the worst of me, you're probably not the worst of me.
Would you like to see your most destructive self?
Yeah, fucking sure.
Okay. Right. An
Why
image.
are we poking at each other's demons?
Because it's fun!
That's not! Look at Corbin! Destroy them!
An image of Cassie is displayed. She seems to be sporting lines of tendriling energy sprouting out from her upper torso in a sort of mockery of wings, as existence seems to be unraveling around her. You can see dirt dissipating from buildings, turning into dust in the air, as she is just disintegrating a town in her very presence. RG?
What did I do?
There is a rather horrifying image of you simply walking amongst a group of assailants and their very souls being drawn from their bodies into you.
Yeehaw.
I'm looking at RG going, yeah, we aren't the worst time. We aren't our worst selves.
I told you.
I don't know what that monster is, but I'm really starting to feel better about myself.
My guess is
Hi, welcome to Self-Worth.
the end
So-
of one of the lines. One of the wiping the world. You're an angel.
I'm not a very clever person. But it seems to me that the easiest way that we could get Hea onto the right path so she doesn't get in trouble, but convince people that Morgani has something wrong with her, is that we go grab past Raziel.
You exposed me for my plans. I mean, I was doing this nonsense.
I mean, that wouldn't just show Morgani's crazy, though.
That would do the
Yes, that would only reveal the plans of Miris and exonerate her.
And
Yes. So what we need to do is to get you to help us incriminate Morgani's madness and reveal the other at the same time.
So, reveal one truth, but to create another lie in the process.
Yes.
Was
And the
Morgana
best
even-
way to reveal Morgani's madness is the first dragons.
So we use Echo.
We use Echo to bring the first dragons in. We reveal that Miris's plot.
And if we do
And-
it far back enough, the dragons aren't as populous and cannot lay as waste to much of...
Yeah.
Question: weren't the first dragons sealed for a while?
They are set out beyond the bounds of reality, as we put it. However, they are beckoned in. I suppose if they meant to do it with Echo, we should be able to.
Yeah, if Echo was able to do it on these other timelines, like Traveler said, then that will probably work the same way as whoever opened the lock. And what we do is we fast forward everybody onto it, because the moment I reveal myself, Ilan will come. And I believe Ilan and Amor would protect me. I would have to take Dadriel's position unless we get Dadriel out early.
I mean, logistically, you could do that, couldn't you?
Yeah, we could get
How'd you find
Dadriel out.
We could collect him. I mean,
Yeah,
our Dadriel.
Yeah, we could collect our Dadriel as help. And then we could make a real change.
We would have
We-
to this place at the
I think we're
moment.
talking.
Yeah, we'd have
We have
to.
to do
And,
this place no matter what.
yeah, but
We'd
we're
have
gonna have to.
use
We have to
this
make
to
that jump
get
at
you
some
back.
point.
I can take you anywhere and anywhen that you wish to go, maintaining your current timeline.
So we get Dadriel to help back me up, and then we run the gambit. We get Raziel to do things covertly, if I can convince him, and we get
I mean,
I think you can convince him.
would we?
Convince him and just point at Raziel again.
I mean,
had a lot
He'd
to
be-
go through between the intervening points.
if we're merging at that point, wouldn't that version of him merge with the version here?
We need to set up everything that we're going to do after, though, right? The things that we're going to have to do. They won't merge right away. I think that's the things we got to pick our point that we're going to do the divide, and then we make the change. What are we changing? We need to change Raziel. We need to change Raziel, and then we need to change the theater of how the gods are going to react, and bring the first dragons back at that point. That is where we're making a divergence. That way they will seal up Morgani, just like they did in Ramiz's timeline, and protect her from herself.
Question, are we wanting
And-
to seal her up individually, or are we enacting Tiamat still?
I don't know if Tiamat's viable without aid. We don't have.
Zormir and
I mean, we could just take the
Mentor.
devices we already have.
That's true if we're going back for Dadriel, right? We just go grab everything.
The only
Yeah, like any of the plants that are already there are perfectly viable.
Yeah, so we go get our stuff. We get.
there will be one missing piece. A dead first dragon.
We can get that.
I suppose there's nothing stopping us from utilizing the physical's remains, but then
There'd be an extra.
I mean, I guess we'd have to kill the physical again.
yes, otherwise we're dealing with an extra entity within this, which I don't think our calculations were planned for.
So we take down the physical again.
Easy, right?
Yeah,
I mean, that went fine.
Why not?
I didn't die like 2 times.
At least we know its tricks.
Better idea. Yes.
We know
But
what.
we also are missing some of it.
Saxon's not going to shoot me.
Oh, yes, are we going to utilize the metal again?
We can get everything from the vault. We get everything from the Fey vault again. We'll just
The
just
metal
do it.
won't have the effect because I no longer have the mark of the spiritual on me.
Unless
Yeah,
we make
Nerf
it,
said
unless
that.
we help bring forth spiritual again and make another deal, but I don't think that's particularly advised.
No,
Yeah.
but there's one partial problem with us going without there being a Shax. I'm the target then.
Yes. Maybe we bring with us more people than we have here. If we bring some Fomerians, it might equal the playing field a bit.
We could talk to them
To the first.
now.
See what they think we should do.
They know themselves best.
I will say, trying to talk to the first
If we-
seemed to just be what we did. Yeah.
If we do this course of action, we will be deliberately acting against Taya and Morgani. And I hope they will forgive us someday. Whereas I hope she will forgive you for it too.
I'd rather have her
Sorry,
health than her
yeah.
forgiveness, so either way.
I think she'd forgive you anyways. She doesn't seem the type to hold that.
We don't know what this will do to her.
And she,
Make you stronger.
No, I mean
The
she-
betrayal.
She might not care about us as much when she has a lot more people to love.
if there's one thing I believe about her, it is that her love for those she cares about is boundless. And I think I will hold to that belief.
And we
Yeah,
are
she
saving
didn't seem
her
the type
still.
She didn't seem the type to drop you just because she has more.
But she may indeed be too busy for us.
Yeah, busy's different from not caring.
Either way, if she is whole and healthy, then it is worth it.
All right. Let's
I
collect
guess I
people.
will still have my connection to her, so.
I don't know where that sense of loyalty's come from.
Oh, come on. You've always been sweet on her.
This was part of a master plan. Didn't think it'd become genuine.
You're just
If-
too good of a method actor. You actually develop feelings.
If
You're bad at remaining impartial.
Was that a train? What's that?
Yep. That was somebody with a train in the background.
if it becomes a problem with Carrick with the first dragon, there may be things I can facilitate that prevent or maybe hinder in some way of the first dragon possessing Carrick. I will have to spend some time to think on it, but that's what I was trying to do to Saxon, but he kept on shooting me.
I don't know if I can shoot that arrow again. I did reclaim it after the battle. I'm not saying that the arrow's not intact, but
We go get
Mm,
another.
huh?
We go get another.
No, I've said I've got the arrow. I'm just saying that I'm not sure if it's safe for me to shoot it in my present condition because
I'll do
the
it.
babies had to do it take a bad time of it last time.
I'll
It
do
might
it.
be the best to do it.
I don't actually want you to have it if you might get mind controlled, Carrick. Like you have.
Control.
I do like the idea of you shooting it otherwise, but yeah, I don't know.
Out of
RG, are you a
character.
good shot?
Oh, good.
Yeah.
But RG or Cassie are probably the most deft at potentially using it.
All right. Well, I will fetch it from the vault when I fetch all the other things that we're gonna need.
Out of character. Did Jax say he felt like he was just controlling his raw body? I can't remember if he told
I
us that afterwards or not.
think you guys, yeah.
He did specifically mention that he was aware of everything that was happening and could do nothing to stop it.
Yeah, it was the control of the physical form,
Yeah,
But
separate from the mental.
And he
don't
did
think you'll
also
be able
posit that it
to.
notably did not have access to anything he could do otherwise.
Yeah, unfortunately with me, that's not the concern.
Yeah,
it
you're a
didn't look like
dragon.
use of
You're
other stuff.
Yeah, you can't use my
Um,
magic and stuff, but I can still bite and claw under his control.
Would there actually be, if Shaxton knew what was going on, but he couldn't control his body, could a geese be put on someone to make it so their body can't do anything if they don't will it?
That affects you making choices, counteractive, and things like that. I don't know if it would work on if your body's acting against your will.
Yeah, Raziel shakes his head. He's
Also, don't
formed
use
on the
them.
will of the person. If you can't control your physical form, it's not going to trigger.
It's more
Like,
like
not
being
like that, but
puppeted.
even I'd say not like that, but like if it did, doesn't a geese usually just have a if you do this, this
You
thing
hurt.
happens?
It
it
hurts
just
you.
hurts. Yeah,
Yes.
So
and
just be,
it's
it'd be
psychic.
slapping the crap out of character. That's all it'd do.
It will slap his mental self, not the physical self.
Well, I mean, damage is damage. So.
Yeah, I mean, we're
I could
talking
turn you into a not
context.
dragon.
I don't actually know if that will do it. Actually, we don't actually know it was draconic. We just actually don't technically know that part at all.
You guys just had a very good theory on the fact that it was.
It was draconic based.
The only
maybe.
people who felt any
Also, maybe having that thing burned out of you from Mirrors will make it so you're less likely to be affected, because that whole connection of faith is maybe what they were reaching for.
He was more physical, and could be, but
I'm just saying, it's, there's some sort of collective grab there that it was doing. I don't know.
yeah.
Anyway, that we're gonna have to fight the physical again.
Yay.
On the plus side, we know what to expect. At least.
So we would like to gather everybody up that we need. We need to gather up all the things that we require, the devices, all the things like that, and then we go have a really interesting meeting with Raziel.
We can get Heya to not Heya, Echo.
Would it be in bad form to bring Raziel to speak to Raziel?
I think we're beyond consideration. Let's do it.
Okay.
I think it'd do a lot to convince him, honestly. Who better to convince you of no, really, they're telling the fucking truth.
Raz is frowning as if he's actually trying to consider whether he would trust himself, and he's having trouble with that.
I'm gonna frown and say I lie to myself all the time.
Yeah, but you have another you standing in front of you, explaining exactly what you're doing, the plan.
This is a mental quandary I'm willing to have answered for me in the physicality.
Yes, let's do it in the moment.
See, that's the problem with me, is that I was just inherently over paranoid with everything. So even if I saw myself trying to explain something to me,
You've literally combated yourself.
Yes.
You literally murdered yourself at one point. I don't think you count on that equation.
No, I do not.
I understand that you will be enacting the plan of Ramiz Mitat.
Yes.
Yes.
Do you wish to delay the pursuit of the Sphinx Initiative?
That'd be nice.
How would we do that?
I can project a field that will stop them from entering while you collect items. And if you install a small temporal jammer somewhere hidden in this room, it will take them time to find it and will delay their pursuit of us.
All right, let's do that.
They will not be able to arrive at the time that we are at until they can.
Is that a jammer that you have, or is it something in this room?
The machine is not going to try to explain the mechanics of delaying time travel pursuit and how that should make any sense.
I am not going to
appreciate that's not
request
a-
how that goes, and I don't want to know. I just nod, and I will slowly stand up. I go, all right, let's do this.
So, was there things out there that we should collect?
There are many objects out there that may be useful to you.
Can you just give us a list? Do you know the items out there, and do you have a list that you can just give us would be good because we're.
I do not
Not
have a
sure.
list of the default contents. I just know that they have many items that should be useful to you.
Okay.
And go pick up a bipedal fennec.
However, the food I generate shall not be breached until I depart with you, so you have all the time in the world.
I
So, yes,
don't
we-
appreciate
This is a
the way
figure
you
of
said
speech.
that.
Yes.
Okay.
Basically, we can collect it from here in the vault, whatever we need without worry.
Let's do that first.
The
Alright,
particle beams that they utilize should take many hours to breach my shields. So you have some hours.
Wait, what?
I am trying to narrow down and quantify the amount of time you have to collect items.
Well, I just want to get the. Actually, I probably shouldn't take it. It's probably bad if I take the box.
You are
Yes, I
disrupting the
would take
timeline
anything
immensely already.
Yeah, but the
Yeah.
box is a bomb and it's gonna blow up.
Please describe this
don't
box
know
to me.
It's
Box.
black
Mini box.
and it's about this big,
It has
and it
Zoom
has
on
this
the back.
little thing, and it's got a number that's counting down.
Close to her. Wait,
It's gonna
you have-
flicker a bunch of images on its display,
It's
and then
white
you will,
text on it that says the BGs.
and then it narrows it down, and you see your object on the screen.
That yes,
This is a portable music player.
yeah.
This is not an explosive.
Oh,
So, sounds like it's
Why did you believe this to be an explosive?
the timer's going down.
Which timer?
best part is we don't have explosives that count down yet.
The bars.
That is a measure of its battery life.
The little fuse
What's
is
a
going
battery?
away.
A battery is a portable energy source that powers modern devices.
Eric's going to minor image the BEP and be like, what
Alarms
is
start
this?
going off within.
Do not want this on the ship. Do not want this on the
I
ship.
am guessing that means that is
No,
a
no
dangerous
alarms go
thing.
off. But
What animal is this?
that is not an animal.
It looks like an animal.
It
It
is
looks
an.
like a stuffed animal.
It is an android.
What is an android?
That's a fancy word.
It is a mechanical facsimile of a life form, programmed with prescripted responses that simulate
Automaton.
intelligence. And automaton is a term used for created races. They are not parallel.
Is this a living? Is this like a living thing?
No, it is a simulated being.
Simulacra.
This is more correct, but not correct.
A mechanical simulacra.
Is it dangerous?
In theory, no.
Traveler,
Okay.
what? Why did you sound hesitant there?
There are many recorded incidences involving these simulacra, as you term them. They are helpful, or try to be. However, their programming is flawed.
Just like us.
Can it be fixed if it is flawed?
Conceivably, yes, but not by your means.
Could you fix it?
I do not wish to interface with this device.
Virus
the short answer.
upload.
No one wants to deal with a BEP.
Boxing alone.
No one.
Carrick should take the BEP. Carrick doesn't know how to turn the BEP on. Carrick should take it.
Just wants to take it. Yeah.
You wish for me to open the doors and deploy shields?
If
Or would you like to
you
take longer to deliberate?
I'm done deliberating. Is everybody else done?
Mhm.
I mean, if you do not deploy shields, would we be able to leave without them knowing you are here?
The personnel outside is already aware of your disappearance and are suspicious and on alert.
Okay.
I have slowed time relevant for you by some factor. However, she will soon be reporting for a security team.
All right. Well, let's get out there.
Yeah, so shields.
Yes. Yes.
if you would please step into the room adjacent that I have opened, and there's some pulsing lights around that strange Mercury portal, you'll find a number of devices. I will light up the one that you must select and deploy to jam their time travel capabilities.
Okay.
Alright.
Whoever's going to head into that room, this is
I'll go.
definitely some sort of workshop / armory. There are all manner of things that you would recognize as weapons, even if you're not entirely familiar with them, as well as a assortment of devices, one of which is lit up and appears to be a cylindrical metal tube with what looks like to be sort of three tripedal legs that come out from the sides of it and have these strange, like, flat feet at the end of them. To activate this device, simply by securing it to a wall, its magnetic feet will hold it in place, and then you press the green, yellow, red sequence.
That's a good thing that we all can see color now.
I just see more color.
Right, who's taking the device?
I will.
Okay. Right, you all head back out into the main room, and
Corvus doesn't.
you don't?
No.
Staying
He
put?
wants, stay put for a moment.
Corvus is waiting for us all to step outside, slam the door, and then take the TARDIS on his own adventure.
No. He wants
Dr.
to,
Boo.
He wants to query the machine of himself, but without the exposure of the other people.
Well,
Jeez,
most important
Corvus
question.
wants to Google himself while he's.
Most important question is, Corvus wants to do that. Is anyone actually seeing him trying to stay behind and going, hey, that's okay?
Everything okay, Corvus? You coming?
No. If you don't mind, I have a question for this thing that I would like to ask in private.
If you would like, you may ask on the private terminal.
Okay.
As long as it's
Looks
not how to
really
kill all of
shady
us.
and says, "This guy's looking at porn." Hey, look, this guy's looking at porn.
One of the terminals lights up.
I'm actually gonna walk out if Corvus is saying he wants to do something in private. I'm just whatever.
We'll walk out.
Okay,
What
so
are you doing that there, Corvus?
What did you say, Cass?
Nothing.
Oh.
right,
Put your pants back on, jokes.
Corvus, one of the panels lights up, and the doors open up, Gift stepping out, and immediately the lights within this machine turn red, as if it has gone into some sort of, emergency mode. You hear a faint siren-like thrumming going on, as there is a visible energy barrier that deploys outside. You see Ensign Tria at the edge of the room is actually shoved back by this, as this barrier encompasses basically the entirety of this room.
Sorry.
She's immediately scrambling to her feet, looking at you, and going, "What have you done?" And seeing where you are, and what's happening, her eyes widen as she becomes aware of the machine.
Oh, we found the thing that we needed, so we're just gonna take this and go.
She is instantly pulling out a device, flipping it open, and starting to yell into it. The intruders.
Within range.
What's that?
Can I grab her?
There is a force field between you and her,
the thing, Cassie.
and she is basically near the entrance of the room. Did you want to hide the thing as you were instructed?
Yes.
She can see you right now.
You just plugged it right in
Yes.
front of her.
No, go. Why don't you? Why don't I? I'm gonna flare my wings out really big and be like, whoa, 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 whoa. I'm gonna try and be very distracting and try to make her pay attention to me. Wait. No big deal. No big deal. You said anything in the vault.
She is yelling into a communicator.
Anything in the vault, you said.
The Turian time machine is here. It's in our vault. They've erected a shield. Get down here with security immediately.
Listen, I just want to get my music box. and a few other little bobs, and then we're gonna go
Step
save
away from
everybody.
Step away from the transport
I'm-
machine, please.
I've got the music box. I'm gonna take it in my hand. See, look, I'm picking it up. It.
Oh, the
it's
rest
got
of them are
very
in there.
little
Get them out
battery
now.
Left.
Eric's
Very
actually gonna
little
come out.
battery.
Eric's going to look for stuff, grabbing stuff.
Right.
This has moved back over to the poster area.
Do you want to give me a stealth check, Cass?
A stealth check.
I could dex.
This is going to be interesting.
Do you want to give her one? No, she doesn't.
Actually, we were told to hide it, right?
Can I do a performance roll for trying to be very distracting?
I'm actually
yes,
going to do one
go
step
ahead.
further before she walks out. We were told to hide it.
Mhm.
You gonna greater invis her?
Okay.
Yeah.
Right, Cassie is invisible, so you will have advantage on your stealth check, Cassie.
right,
Gifton's
performance.
thing will lower your DC.
I'm flaring the
And-
wings out big. I'm being very dramatic. I'm knocking things over. Oh, my bad. Whoops. Silly me.
Okay. Thank God that the DC was lowered. Okay, right.
Well, even if it's low, even if it wasn't, I still have a ton of rerolls available.
Thankfully, you don't need to do it. The passive internal sensors in here cannot detect you. Alright, so Cassie can install the device. Do you remember the sequence?
Green, yellow, red.
Correct. Right. So you plant it in a nice hidden nook, sitting in the button sequence, and yeah, this seems to endear itself. And apart from a little light on it going from blue to purple, there's no signs that anything has happened. So you just have to trust that it is active.
Need to drag this anchor thing into. God, this is really heavy. Carrick, could you
Alright.
help me grab this?
As you all start moving things, you will see that a security team does arrive. The doors open.
Hi.
And a whole bunch of figures in not the great big battle armor that you've seen on display and stolen, but just in general security armor. Breastplates, some shoulder padding. Come in holding these advanced rifles, which they immediately start opening fire on this force field. It's actually quite worrying because apart from when things are in contact with it, the field's not particularly visible. So it just looks like there are these lances of energy that come towards you and then impact and disperse on this.
Colorful lights. I use that for communication too.
I think the communication there is mad.
Tria is yelling about needing heavier armament down here.
Oh, that could have hit me if it was like real.
Can we actually? We can't. You're talking about the pillar, right? Gifton, trying to move that thing.
Yeah, I'm
right
trying
now?
to move the pillar. I would like.
If I
your
go into
assistance.
dragon form, can I move it? Or is
You
it still-
cannot.
Okay. Hey, they said something about a floating thing to move it. Is there anything that looks like it'd be a moving device around? Is there anything
Yeah,
that's
there's
not part of-
there's some grav lifts in here.
I go pick up the crap.
Hey,
Right, you can move that easy.
Wait. Our magic still works in this field, right?
Your magic seems to be active. Yeah.
Oh,
Carrick, watch this.
are you gonna catch levitate? Because that was my plan.
No, I was gonna true polymorph it into a cute fuzzy animal and carry it into the ship.
True polymorph.
What are you trying to carry into the ship?
The pillar.
Pillar.
The pillar that is the ship.
No, this is the light. This is
Oh, the lighthouse pillar. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's what we've been trying to grab.
Right. Okay. Oh, okay. Complete misunderstanding there. Carrick, your draconic strength does budget, but you cannot
Yeah.
lift it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Leave it with quad carry. Dang.
All right, I'm gonna burn a 9th level spell. I am going to polymorph it into a bunny.
Yeah, we're gonna have to change
Okay.
the bunny around.
Right. The bunny appears and does just sort of like does this little whisker wiggle, nose people bubbles in the air, and then
I'm gonna
start.
kick it up.
Okay. Dexterity check for you, please, Gifton.
Animal
Bunny
handling?
kick.
Do you want to do an animal handling?
I would like to do an animal
Are
handling.
you gonna try and coax it?
I was gonna try talking to it.
Yeah.
What are you using to coax it, Gifton?
Kind noises.
I know this. Okay.
Yeah.
It doesn't want to come towards you, but it's not running away.
Okay, I'm gonna pick it up. I'm gonna pet it. You're gonna have food for the first time in your existence.
Yeah. You don't notice people popping.
I'm gonna start walking into the ship. Look at what I got. I call them Anki.
You can hear infantry frantically yelling about how they seem to be able to use magic. They must. The machine must
I
be
have a-
assisting them.
Terrible question.
Mhm.
Can I summon my Echo on the other side of the field?
Do you want to?
I can give it a try. It's a thing of like I don't take its place unless I want to, so
Mhm.
I'll give it a try.
Okay. Right. The echo does appear.
One check one.
Punch
thing.
her
Eric's
out.
just
Right.
starting to grab stuff.
I'm gonna take the bunny inside, pat, and then I'm gonna ask the tree or what where I put this.
As the door slides open again, you will see Captain Savage returning, running into the room with more security. One of the security people near the RG's Echo is pulling out a baton-looking thing. Is pressing a button on it and jabbing it at RG's Echo. RG?
Mhm.
That's not a good feeling.
Oh,
You feel yourself being pulled towards your Echo.
Since I can do an attack from my position or it's, he's getting a punch and a stunning strike.
Okay, now go ahead and give me a roll on that.
Stream 2 E's or 1.
That is a miss. Or rather, it's a hit, but it does not affect. So it's hitting physical AC.
Would that count enough that I can get in the stunning strike DC or no?
No.
Okay.
It's a miss in mechanical terms, but it's the kind of miss where they haven't dodged it. It's actually hitting armor.
Okay.
It didn't affect their physical form.
it's not a mechanical hit.
You're gonna hear the person with the baton going. Use merger devices. It's an echo. As they are aware of this mechanic.
Echo waves. Hi.
Oh.
Yeah, she probably does.
She's just gonna go, huh, and then dismiss the Echo.
Okay, smart move. Right. You see a couple of the other guards jab at where the echo just was. Thankfully missing. Okay. Right.
I'm gonna wait inside because now I have my music device and I have Anki.
Right.
The
Do you
rabbit.
guys want to just completely loot the room? You've been informed that you can.
Yeah, fuck it.
Okay. I was
Yeah.
slowly going
Yeah.
to target it.
All these
Definitely need to take that poster.
Traveler seems very
That was
confident that they can't breach their shield.
I mean, and nothing in here is particularly large.
Yeah, not other than the beacon.
That's the largest, heaviest thing.
Actually, there is one thing you likely can't get into Traveler, which is there is a sort of weird metallic wagon with like no struts for horses or anything. Actually, you guys know what an airship is. It looks like a very small advanced airship.
Oh, that wasn't on the list.
I would like to point out.
I did say that not everything is on that list.
Oh yeah, that's right.
I do have one more true polymorph.
You
I
do.
Can go
Do you
make
want
another
to-
bunny?
Do you want to go through polymorph this object?
Is wherever the bunny is in the other one big enough for the pillar?
Well,
to
can
appear?
I put this
Yeah,
bunny down somewhere?
You can put the bunny in Traveler.
Yeah, I'll put
Question
the bunny in
is-
Traveler, and I'll ask Traveler, will the beacon or will the anchor cause a problem to it for traveling if it's in
It will
anchor
not.
form? All right, I'm gonna let that go then. So that's not a bunny anymore.
Mhm.
I would have
Bye,
fed it a
bunny.
little
Sitting in
something
a corner
before
room.
it got to not be a bunny anymore.
Just
The
try to
inanimate
find a
object
structure
is
somewhere
sad
to
that it
compare
was never fed.
I fed it. I said I was gonna feed it while we were figuring out we're looting. I was basically gonna be caretaking the bunny. I'd feed it. So I'll go back out there and I go, okay, you guys want this thing?
If we're taking everything, may as well.
Might be useful.
All right, I'm falling more for this thing. form of
that?
basement.
Okay, you
something small and adorable and slow.
what,
How about a snail?
you gonna turn it into a snail?
Yeah.
Okay, you have
I was
turned
gonna
the Type 8
sloth.
shuttlecraft into a snail.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I'm gonna hand as I'm carrying stuff in. I'm heading tell Day the arm. Tammy said you had a red arm one time,
Ah, yes.
so you may
A
want to hold on
third
to that
arm
for
could be
safekeeping.
advantageous.
I am going to feed my new pet snail a good berry on the way back into the.
Okay, you feed the Starfleet shuttle a good berry. Congratulations.
You know, grade for those who have read
Phasers off
the
of happiness.
McCaffrey series with the living ships. I'm now imagining we just made a living ship.
Okay, that's a happy Warp 4 capable hum.
Have you ever wondered how Farscape came to be? This is the origin of Moya's race.
I feel good about my choices.
While you guys are offloading stuff, Captain Savage in their onloading, is just going, please reconsider whatever you're doing. You don't understand what is at play here.
You have moments to explain.
I don't know what has spurred you on this course, but you need to work with
Really
us.
Time on explaining it.
We are working with you.
Erecting a force field and hijacking an enemy ship is not working with us.
You just don't know it yet.
She has a point. Everyone kind of ends up her friend eventually.
I may not
It's
exist in
inevitable.
whatever adventure you create.
Would
Trust
you like
me,
to come
you're
with
very
us?
memorable to me.
It's lower the shield and we can talk properly.
Are you have control of this?
I'm sure that the machine is amenable to whatever you request, considering it has already deployed the shield on your behalf.
Well, are you amenable to sending everybody else out of the room first?
Yes.
All right, huddle up. Do we let them? Do we let them in here to
Do you
talk
want
to
to
us?
potentially kidnap her?
Do we want to kidnap Captain
This is
Savage?
wait, is this Savage?
And by the way, that's what Gifton's saying. Are we kidnapping Captain Savage?
Wait, wait, this is Savage
Commander.
Doctors, not the.
This is fast, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know if we want to take a drow with it. No. That's not in character. That is not in character. That is out of
We're
character.
getting racist
You
tonight.
can't say
Okay.
that out of character either. That's not okay.
But we had to transfer Kitsune or a drow.
Well, we
know
take
what
both
you
of them.
favor.
Well, we could
What?
take Kitsune as well.
Yeah.
I mean, she here and she leaves.
She's still here.
No, she's the one pressed against the wall by a force field.
Oh, no, she's thrown back by it. She's not still trapped
Yeah.
by it.
We're not killing her with it.
If we want to, we can take as many people as we want. We just have to deal with them.
Commander
let's
Savage
not
is
do that.
actually waving at the security team, pointing them out, and they are going to leave the room. It is just her and Ensign Tria now.
Oh, now is an opportune time to kidnap them. Until the,
My men have left. Lower the field.
No weapons.
She is going to sigh, removes the phase pistol from her hip, and she'll throw it out into the corridor.
Ensign?
I don't. Ensign.
She might be in the same boat I am.
Disarm. And
lean into the ship.
Tria also throws theirs out. You lean into the ship, Toady?
Yep.
Nice.
Traveler, I think we are taking two others with us, at least for a moment. Can you extend the shields?
No, let them through. Don't extend. You'll just slam them into a wall.
I cannot extend the shields past a living being.
Can you allow those two in?
Only by lowering the shields.
If you lower it for a moment, will it be okay?
Yes, although there are risks that they may get pattern locks on you and remove you from the room.
They wouldn't
If
do
we
something
go-
like that, right?
They likely would.
If we're inside you, does that mitigate that problem?
It would.
All right, we'll stand
Oh,
inside the ship, and then they can come in, then we'll come out. Okay? I'm gonna go walk inside the ship.
Cass is
Yep.
going to push past them invisible.
Everyone getting back into Traveller?
Yeah, we're getting traveler.
Okay.
Yeah, looks like it.
Traveller's door will close. The red light returns to its normal, just nice soft glow, and and the Traveller goes, "The shield has been lowered."
I'm guessing whatever Corvus did was resolved, and then we can be with.
Yeah,
this
I'll get back to you that
If
on a
you wanna
second.
Take a moment.
Okay.
Yeah.
No,
In
that's
fact-
fine.
Let's cover it now, quick. All right,
Okay.
Corvus, what was your question?
All Corvus wanted to see was two versions of himself:
Which ones?
the best version of Corvus and the worst version of Corvus.
Please quantify these qualities.
The most destructive to all realities, and the most beneficial and helpful.
Okay.
And
The most destructive to all realities. It's a somewhat familiar visage. That armored version of yourself, the mechanical, cybernetic cyborg Corvus, it thought looks a lot like that, only so much more dramatically augmented. You can tell that there are things on it that are fueling themselves from its surroundings. It becomes a horrifying realization when you see there are grafted parts, not just cybernetic but organic. You can see angelic essences, you can see fey sort of antlers worked into some of the cybernetics. This is a Corvus that has taken everything, and you're just have a strange gut feeling that some of those things might be from your companions. The best version of Corvus, the most conducive to the world, the most helpful, what you would quantify as best. You just see a flashed up image of yourself. Whether this is another you that
moves and everything.
no, it's
Yeah.
Traveller is not that cheesy, unfortunately.
yeah,
This
it's
looks-
not like a blank screen. You just see a
As
reflection.
far as you can tell, this looks exactly like you. Whether that's you or just another incredibly similar you, it's hard to tell.
Well, congratulations. Good guy Corvus killed bad guy Corvus.
Just happens to really like that look.
You might be good guy adjacent. That's at least something.
Yeah.
Do you require additional information?
Um, can you not show the other one, if any of them ask?
Do you want me to restrict these files?
Yes.
Please give me your security key.
You don't have one. I'm pretty sure you don't have one.
There you go. I got you covered.
There are 76 separate security keys for Corvus listed on file. I will accept any of them.
Um,
Think of a number.
yeah.
Think of something only you'd think about.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Would you like to answer
Hey,
your
that's the
secret
same as
question?
my luggage.
What?
No, it does not say, would you like to answer your secret question?
Oh.
Have you forgotten your password?
You have to verify which of these pictures have motorcycles.
It's a motorcycle.
Yeah. Do you want to try giving it a passkey?
Which of these pictures are dragons?
Oh, it's from the future. Of course, it's going to ask things he doesn't know.
Marcus?
Come on, Marcus.
Uh,
You're giving us a lot of dead air.
I know. This is the problem. Sorry. Yes. Sorry. Can I just say something?
What are you going to say?
Life worth living.
One second. Yeah, we'll use your 6. Yeah. I will restrict these files.
Okay.
Okay. All right. You can sort of see the hustle and bustle. Everybody sort of crowds in. These shields are taken down. And then a few moments later, the lights turn red again. And Trevor says, I've re-established the field.
What are we doing?
Hi, we're in here now, but we're going back out. Goodbye. Opening the door.
We're talking
Weep,
with
weep, weep, weep.
Yep. Gotta go back out with her.
Hi, Commander Slash.
All
Hi,
right.
Vincent Tria.
How many people are in this room?
Does you want to make me a perception check?
Sure.
Yep.
All right. Perception checks, please.
I won. I am the least perceptive person in the world.
Damn,
What the fuck?
Gifton, I'm jealous.
Wow.
What is all the 26s?
It's because it's April Fool's.
For a second there, I thought Cass also had one.
No.
Only RG will get this. RG.
Mhm.
Whether it's through faint disturbances of air, slight shifting of dust on the floor, or some weird extrasensory perception, the draw of souls, you are not taken by surprise when 7 figures decloak in this room. Each holding a rifle pointed at you, sort of scattered out in a spread around your travelling machine. Savasha actually just holds up her hand as if to steady them and goes, I need you to step away from the time machine, please.
You can't hurt me.
We are quite capable of hurting you, Miss Graystiel.
I have an honest question. You guys notice in every single timeline, all that sort of thing, all the things we've done, right?
Yes.
Do you think this is enough to stop us? To kill us?
I do.
Did Corvus exit or Cassie?
I don't think Corvus did. I don't know if Cassie did.
Or Carrick?
Cass hasn't. Cass was going ready to follow out when.
Hanging by the doorway.
Hanging by the doorway looking out.
Cass is backing up behind the doorway, looking out at Corvus, pulling wide load off her back, flipping a couple switches,
However, this
and putting her
doesn't
finger over a button.
need to end in violence. Whatever
No, it
You're
doesn't.
literally standing there with a gun trying to force us to take your way out of this.
A precaution
That's the part of it
to
requiring
guard the
violence.
future.
If you make any offensive attack against us, they will leave and continue on.
They don't
will
need
have failed.
us.
What?
You don't need us. I'm gonna say over my shoulder to Cassie and Corvus. And Carrick.
Did Raz even? No, I came out. I'm out.
All right. All right.
Did Drizel- did
Anybody
Raz
who's
even
still in the
come
door.
out?
I don't
Raziel
know.
has not stepped out.
I'm gonna say you don't need us.
I'm looking at Corvus. Do it. Traveler.
Yes?
Cass is leaning out real quick. I'm sorry. Close the door.
Okay, you want to close the door?
Yep.
Okay, go ahead and give me a strength check, please.
Oh, I thought we just had to ask Traveler to close it.
You do normally, yes.
You're facing opposition from something, I'm assuming.
That's a
it's
save. What is that minus your save bonus?
That would be 15.
Yeah, that
Or-
is.
Wait, no.
Oh,
No.
what-
I'm
what-
assuming.
Well, it's
because
not
that's
enough out of
a saving
22,
roll.
unfortunately, either way. So I don't know why I'm asking.
I'm re-rolling.
Okay.
I'm going to toss down.
How close is cast us, by the way?
It's not a check, or it's not a save, so my bonus doesn't have effect. But
No,
yours might.
Can
Yeah,
I
your
drop
thing
this
might.
Card?
I don't know.
It's not.
Drag and just let go.
There it goes. It's up there.
Yeah, now it is.
It's up there. Yeah.
Lightning rush. Classy.
Right, the door
Ooh.
won't budge. There is a chime from Traveller, discordant and happy.
Traveler.
I think it disagrees.
How do you know what we're doing doesn't save the future?
Because if you have listened to, is there personnel still on board that?
Nope.
No.
What the hell are you doing with it?
I understand it.
Yes, it's convincing you to save the Tulian Empire.
It's convincing me to save
not-
both.
Not possible.
Exactly. It's paradox.
Whatever you are thinking about doing, I beg you to reconsider.
You know what point that would have worked better at, to say? Before you pulled the surprise attack with these guys.
You've not
When we
attacked yet.
put it down and when you pointed guns at us when we had said, you come in, we talk. This isn't a talk. That's a threat. Don't call it anything the fuck else. It's a threat. It's a, you listen to what we're telling you, or you get shot.
They are, after all, the time police.
So you're set on your course.
I mean, if I wasn't before you decided to pull this, I sure as shit am now.
And fire.
Tell me more about.
Right. Okay. Gonna give everybody a chance to do an action here because you are expecting this, I think.
Mhm.
Essentially, this will be simultaneous. They are going to get a round of attacks. You are going to get whatever actions you so wish to take.
How close are they to us?
The armed men in this very large chamber, I described them as surrounding, are around 80 foot off. In a sort of
Okay, so-
circular spread.
So they're there, but they're further out.
Yes.
And
Let's record it more 60 foot.
is it also Savage, obviously, and
Savash and Tria are closer to you. They're within about 30 foot of the machine.
so the troops are behind them?
No, they are in a circle surrounding the machine and you guys, and Savash and Tria are within that circle.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah. So there is one or two behind them,
Yes.
but yeah.
Right. Give me right. Who was outside the machine?
I was.
I just raised my hand. That doesn't.
Well done, Karen.
I also raised my hand, but I said I was, so I covered both bases just in case you use secret spy
So
camera. Could see
RG,
me.
Gifton, Carrick,
Telde.
Telde, you're within the sort of doorway, aren't you, Telde?
I guess.
I thought you'd said mentioned leaning back in. If not, you don't need to be.
Yeah, I had just kind of assumed we were all out.
Yeah.
I hadn't
I'm gonna.
exactly thought
You're
about how
out.
far.
I'll say you're closest to the doorway, though.
Yeah, he's
Okay.
out closest to the doorway. Cassie's inside closest to the doorway would make sense.
Okay. I'm gonna do these. Reminder, this is simultaneous, so if these hurt too bad, you're still going to get to go. You know. He's first to RG. We're going to be at you. I'm assuming the 16 doesn't hit. That's a critical miss. What about the 29?
Oh, they have to, on any hit trying to hit me, they have to roll disadvantage.
They
by
do
some,
not.
like, they don't? Okay, 29 does hit then.
Okay. Right. The particle beam will hit you for 59 points of damage. This is not resistible in any form.
I'm
Okay.
gonna ask just in case. I'm gonna let. How clumped up were those of us? What do we want to? Because
I'm
Were we
assuming
staying
you're
together or
fairly
were we
close
splitting
together.
I'm
Yeah, I
assuming
don't think
we're
we're
fairly close.
expecting any kind
Yeah.
of.
because if we're within 5 feet, I can do shenanigans.
Okay, you're asking for mechanical reasons.
Yes.
I would let you choose one person to be within 5 feet off. I think that's fair. As we don't know the exact clumping, who's next to who.
Mm-hmm. I'd say since I was diving out because I was gonna go talk to them, I'll be at the head of the pack, farthest down the ramp or out into the room, and then Carrick and RG need to pick where they are. Who's in between.
I'd like you to pick who you're close to now, though, Carrick.
If Gifton said she was diving out, I'd probably be still back with RG.
Okay, so
Which
did you want to try and do things for
Are
RG?
you behind RG? And then it's Gifton, RG, Carrick.
Yeah, we'll go with that order.
probably, yeah.
Yeah, Gifton, RG, Carrick.
Gifton, RG, Carrick,
Random
Telde.
question. How
Yep.
close is 29 to hitting you?
2. It's 2. Mine's normally 27.
So gain 7 AC.
Oh, cool.
Set of metallic wings suddenly manifest from me, blocking.
Okay. Then I do apologize, Carrick, as we are dealing with a different reality set of rules here. You are going to take that damage directly.
Okay.
But you can indeed defend RG from it.
Okay. Yeah. I was just shielding. So.
Right. The next 2 shots are actually going to come at you, Carrick. 18 and 27.
Both miss.
Both miss. Cool. Right. I'm sure the 27's dissipating against you.
20.
It's hitting your-
Yeah.
It's hitting your
I don't
physical
have
AC.
dex.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I don't have dex, so I've got weird mechanics.
Gifton?
Yep.
27 and 28.
Both hit.
Right. Anyone doing any funky things?
It's not a spell, so
It's not a spell, I'm afraid.
And you said they're how? They're
Do we
60 feet
do we
off.
Do we get like actions and reactions, or do we only get one thing to do?
I am allowing people to be reasonable. So you can do a move, you can do an action. I will allow reactions.
You allow
Is it-
reactions.
Basically, I'm allowing a reaction on top of any one other.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I could do a temporal shunt on, or try to do a temporal shunt.
I'll take the hit. Just let it hit me. Save your stuff.
Okay.
Okay.
We're gonna be dogged by
Right.
these people for a while.
Gifton, that's 2 particle beams hitting you.
Okay. That's 108 damage. Is that correct?
Yep. And the final shot is going to be at Telde. 33.
Sorry, I was coughing at that exact moment. 33 will hit.
52 to Telde.
Okay.
Right. Simultaneously, what do you guys want to do?
May I go first action, please?
Sure.
Sounds good.
Cheating.
Okay. Yeah.
Motherfuckers get out.
Mhm.
And if I get my move still, I'm beating feet.
Mm.
And then I can't spend hit dice. Damn it.
Is this an action?
This is an action.
I said you
So
could
if
take
it's
a move or an action, and I don't think this gives you one, does it?
Yeah, it doesn't. So yep, it's me beating feet, giving that to beat feet for everybody else.
Okay.
How
Also,
we're pretty close to Traveler, right?
I assumed you guys were like right next to it. Yeah.
Or should I not do guiding song? Just
I-
run in?
I'll
I'll just run in.
Yeah.
Screw it.
Because
movement.
You can
Well,
sing it the Messi do if you want.
Yeah, I'll just run in. That's fine.
I'm pretty sure me and Kara can manage getting in the door because we're both kind of ridiculous on move.
Mhm.
my actual mechanic, my first was going to be to run over to
I
Gifted and then Dimensional Dorian.
I assumed you guys running in, but I wanted to allow for the potential that someone would decide, no, fuck them. Yeah, if you want to run in, you can do that. And Cassie,
As you do run in and make a face as they run in.
you still trying to leverage on this immovable door. The moment they're in, suddenly it swings shut. Almost taking your fingers with it if you're still holding on, but
Yeah.
it will slam, essentially.
I'll yell out, "I'm sorry," as we get in.
Okay.
I'll yell agreed.
They don't want to yell, you shot me.
That's definitely a thought.
As they're close, dicks.
Okay. Alright, you are all within Traveller. You can't hear any of the particle beams hitting Traveller's exterior. Seems...
Let's go.
Yeah, anywhere but here.
Where would you like to go?
Just-
Take us to our present day.
Where would you like to be?
For
We need to get him wherever Dadriel is.
The
I think it
Feywild,
could be wherever we.
the
want it to
Feywild,
be.
the Feywild vault. We need to grab all the stuff I can get Dadriel.
Good point.
Understood. Right. The tree seems to glow. The leaves shining brightly in their golden purple colours. The trunk turning a sort of silvery white. And you can see this sort of energy pulsing, thrumming from the tree. As far as you're aware, nothing else seems to be happening.
To those who took damage.
So Gifton.
Yes.
I mean,
Hello?
I took 59 too, so
Oh yeah, you took it from me. Yeah.
I will let you know. Gifton is currently a 40-point hit monster. Yay! Thank you for some heals. Some of us don't have more than 100 hit points by very much.
that's. I can't.
43.
I don't. What's the extra? Because there's like multiple extras on there.
One is medical training,
one's,
the other is higher level cast.
Over level casting.
Okay.
And the other one is medical training, whatever.
Yeah,
What
it's
is
a
the
mechanic. It's a mechanic on his
Right.
thingy.
I'm almost back to full.
I am.
Congratulations.
I'm guessing Gifton looks pretty.
Sorry,
Oh,
Gifted.
Gifton's got like massive burns.
Carrick's gonna come on over and.
Actually,
I'm
the
gonna hold my hand
burns
up
aren't
and shake my
particularly
head.
massive, but they are very bad in a localized area.
Yeah, I'm gonna hold my hand up, shake my head. Save it. We might have more coming. If they're gonna be chasing us. You only have a little bit of healing that you can do. You might need to pick somebody up.
I can do quite a bit. Out of
It is
character, I have Cure
unfortunate
Wounds
that
as a
yours
sorcerer. But
I view that your spells are very. You might want to hold on to them. I understand the value of healings.
Your
I'll be
spell
okay.
slots.
We have
Your spell
arrived.
slots. Excellent. Open up.
The door opens. Immediately you can hear the sound of the Feywild, and there seems to be a happy from the tree in here in response to it.
You like being in the Feywild?
It is familiar, comforting.
Oh. I'm glad. Okay. There's probably some Fey nearby. Something.
Are we not at the vault, or is it?
We're at the
Fey?
vault.
I
We're at
am
the vault.
detecting 7 pixies and 2 treants.
Actually, what am I thinking? I'm slapping the hands together. We're in current time. Ilan, I need some help. I need Dadriel.
You will need to
I
exit my interior before this will be received.
All right, going outside.
Yeah, just following.
All right, just slapping it together. I'm like, fastest way to communicate. Because I know Ilan can reach in here.
Okay.
Ilan, I need Dadriel, and I need to get a bunch of people from Furamir very quickly. We're trying to do something a little on the crazy side that you're gonna get mad about me about later, but you're gonna be really happy long term. I love you very much. You're one of my favorite people in the whole world. I hope you know that. Okay.
Always the mystery if that message has been received, but you
Always
assume
the
it has.
mystery. I just assume it has. Well,
As you do that, Gifton?
I'll use
There's not a stone pillar anymore.
There's not.
Instead, you see a tree, not as beautiful as the one that's inside the tree, but the exterior tree now blends in perfectly with the surrounding Feywild.
Traveler, don't make yourself too hard for us to find.
I'm afraid I am not in control of this function.
I don't like this. Okay.
How about just one of us stays?
No. We need to get things done. Okay.
Your awareness
so
of me
Traveler-
will prevent my perception filter from functioning, though. You will not be magically misled.
Will we
Oh,
know that
okay.
you are you just by looking at you? Or
If
Can
you
you,
remember my location,
If you see us coming nearby, can you just like swing the door open a little bit? That would be great.
if you wish.
Okay, that would be good. I'm okay with that. Is everybody else okay with that?
Sounds good.
Short term, this is not long term. This is just for the first bit here before the paradox machine. Okay, so yeah, let's get all right. I'm gonna go over to the Fey Vault and get some droids going to go get me my shit.
Okay.
I'm just sending people to get things because I have authorization.
You do indeed.
Because I don't want to have to bother going through that. I just want it brought to us.
Nope, you can do that
Ordering
easily.
the lot. I'm ordering the lot.
Gifton? Yep. We may have an option to stop the other group.
We're not using the time disease spell.
I'm just bringing it up. It's an idea.
What the hell is a time disease?
I just
You don't
stare
want
at
to know.
Cassie and go, how was I right?
Corvus will explain to RG what the time spell was.
I just go, wow, that's fucking horrifying.
It
Yeah.
is.
It is.
You should imagine being someone who is under the effect. Yes.
That's hellish.
Yeah. Oh. Okay.
There's a lot of things in there.
Echo.
I'm so glad we're taking this stuff with us.
We're leaving the most of it behind.
Pixies, come here.
We're not here.
The Great Lady of the Tower requests your presence. Get your asses over here.
There is some
Let's
whispering. Then
I'm
some
telling Oberon.
the pixies very hurriedly flitter from the tree and sort of hover around you, Gifton.
Alright.
One of them right in front of your face, putting their hands on their hips and going, "Okay, Lady of the Tower."
Okay, Lady of the Tower, yourself. Okay, I
am now the Lady of the Tower.
No, I'm gonna just say yourself. Okay, so yourself, what you're gonna do is you're gonna fly as fast as you can to get to Oberon. He is over in Furamir, and he's meeting with a really awesome Fey
You
Lord
want me
over
to
there.
fly to Furamir?
Yeah.
I can't do that.
You can fly through the Feywild over to the Grove.
No, that's broken.
You can
No,
if
it's
you believe
fixed.
in yourself.
Since when?
Since earlier
fix it.
today.
Like Today or yesterday, yeah.
Yeah.
Nuh-uh.
Oh, did you not even see the banners in the party?
Yeah, but I didn't know where they were going.
Well, they're having a great big
It's a
party, and you're
party!
not even there.
Am I
And that's
invited?
what you're missing.
Yes, you're
I know.
invited.
Can I be invited too? Another one pipes
You can
up.
all be invited if you fly there very quickly. You need to fly to. Oh my god, I forgot the goddamn Faylord's
Morris.
name.
Morris?
Morris.
You need to find Morris's Grove, Lord Morris's Grove, and you tell Lady Titania and Lord Oberon, who are having a great big party there, that you were sent by Lady Gifton to have party, and I'm going to take a piece of paper out and you give them this. And it's going to basically said, I need Dadriel. And also let the Fermirians know there's something going on and they're going to be randomized again. I'm sorry, this is our lives.
Okay.
Heartsies, Gifton.
The Pixies are actually going to have a brief squabble on who gets to carry the message.
Mhm. You could all grab part of it and then you all get partial credit.
Oh no. You
Don't tear it.
fear that this may not make it intact, but they do all grab onto it.
I do yell. Don't
That
tear
doesn't
it.
help.
In fact, you know what? I'm going to give each of you your own piece of paper, okay?
Yeah, but who gets to give the paper? First one there.
Well, the
no,
first
that's
one
not fair.
there.
You're faster than us. Yeah, I know.
Well, what you gotta do is you gotta fly more clever than them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You see one of them is pulling out a tiny knife.
Yeah. Okay, well,
That's the
here.
girl.
All right, so there you go. I'm gonna give each of them a piece of paper with the exact same thing on it. Go quick.
Okay, you witnessed a rather
Unfortunately, the
horrifying
message never
shanking.
arrives.
Which leads to a pixie squealing more in anger than in pain. And
Yeah,
the fast pixie sort of follows along, not so fast now, as they were like stabbed near their wing. But they all depart. Very well, people.
If the fast pixie was truly fast, they would have ran
Yeah.
immediately.
they would be gone already.
They're apparently slow in the brain.
Uh-huh.
Okay, that's good. So we're handling multiple things at once. I don't actually know if Ilan can hear me in here, so that's a thing. Okay, we've got piles of this stuff packed up. Raz, any other things? How many people should we grab from Faramir? Who should we grab?
Do we?
I'm sure we want Fowler.
Where are the items?
They're gonna get so mad at us for taking Valda.
Where are the items of metal now?
They're coming out right now from the robots that I sent into the vault.
Oh,
to
are
grab
they?
them.
Do we actually get them in the vault by this point?
Oh, I thought a lot of that stuff went in the vault because I was trying to grab.
Yeah,
everything
I
with
believe
that,
you guys had planned to store it
Yes.
in
Yeah.
Yeah.
an already
I think
secure location.
We had temporarily had Valda hold it, and then it was supposed to all go back in the vault.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering. I wasn't sure if it got in the vault yet, or if it was.
I thought it did during one of the downtimes because I was like,
Okay.
I was gonna store all that crap.
For the sake of simplicity, we will say it did.
Yes.
Okay, so yeah, we're just getting everything out.
Right. Within about 10 minutes of you moving stuff, you are going to see a large stag emerge from the woods, flanked by a couple of unicorns.
Hey.
Greetings.
And the head of the large stag bows briefly before the form shifts into Ilan. And he then gives you another acknowledgement. Teldin goes, "Greetings. You needed me? Something wrong? What's wrong?"
I need
Adriel's
to know
on his
some-
way.
Yeah, Dadriel's on his way. Okay, good. I need to know some things that only you would probably know. How would I get you to listen to me like 10,000 years ago?
I was very angry back then.
Yes, I'm sure you were. And I don't blame you because I did just kind of tear through that tree without any warning. But
He squints a little bit and just goes,
loud.
"What?
It was an extremely loud conversation, and I didn't know what it was saying.
What are you talking about?"
was on Yggdrasil.
We were on your continent and there was some weird time shit.
Yeah.
Timeline. That may not have happened.
He looks like he's searching back through a long line of memories.
Listen, we were over in
It's been
Zaha, and we
10,000
were trying to get something figured
The
out
Drow.
on Zaha, and
Yeah.
that was us.
Okay, so that
The
is-
incursion onto Yggdrasil from... That was you.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
That was you.
That was not what I was I'm not going to go into that.
Sorry.
I...
Still angry about Valosel, I'm guessing.
Yes.
Okay, so how far back do you think we could push to try and we want to make it so Hea gets in the least amount of trouble
You're
possible?
planning to alter the past.
Yes.
Oh, a lot more than that.
Oh yeah.
We may have
That's-
pissed some people from the future off too.
That's
No, we did. We very much did.
incredibly reckless.
Yeah.
Oh, have you
Thank
met
God
us?
what you were going for was impossible.
Oh, it's gonna be very freeing to do this. I'll tell you that.
His eyes are flickering over the group of you before they sit on you, and he just goes, "Tell me this is the best course."
It's the best course.
I think it's the kindest, best course we could take. It's a risk. It's a big risk. But I don't know if I could live with myself if I didn't take this chance.
He reaches into the sort of he wears this nice little sort of alpha waistcoat, a sort of working one, and he reaches into it, and he just pulls out what looks like to be a small silver box, and he holds it out to you, Gifton.
Yeah, I'll take it.
Show me that. Tell me who you are. Tell me what you carry. I should listen.
Okay. I hug him tight.
He embraces you as well. And then he sort of looks up at it and goes, "Will this go away?"
No. It's gonna meld together.
You may
We're-
have some.
It's a stitch in time kind of thing. Everything's gonna go together. You might still remember this. And then
Sure.
you'll probably give me quite a finger waggle at the time.
As long as I don't forget you.
Well, if you do, you won't forget them at least. I pat my tummy.
Sir Ilan, think about it this way. If nothing else, you get to meet her at least 10,000 years earlier.
We need to make everyone convinced that Morgani's going crazy early. Because she was going crazy, and
The signs were missed.
the signs were missed because everyone thought that Hea was just acting
Acting
out.
the petulant child.
Yes. But she's not a petulant child.
No.
And maybe we can save more of Morgani's people and all the different peoples across the world, and maybe we can stop what happened to Hevos and everything else.
We can unfuck a lot of things.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that I will listen to you. I'm sure that you will succeed.
I'm gonna hug him tight. I'm gonna take Dadriel with me because I feel like if he's there, maybe he'll listen to me a bit more. I don't know.
Good idea.
Felt like a good move.
It is. Speaking of the angel, there is a rough flutter of wings, sort of accompanied by a crash through bushes as angelic landing into the Feywild. Not the smoothest thing. Dadriel sort of stumbling out of a rough landing.
If he's stumbling out, Cass is going to move over to try and help steady him. It's like, Whoa, be careful, man. It's rough in here.
I think you've gotten taller.
It's exactly what they should be.
So many people are
Can I go over and
messing
hug
with
Dadriel?
my physicality right now.
I am sorry, brother, but you're gonna go on a very wild and crazy tour with your sister.
Okay.
We're going into the past.
You sure you want me there?
Yes.
For what we're doing, yes.
Okay.
We're gonna convince people to not jail Hea in the first place.
Well, no. Scream and his people, they're coming along so well. You can't
They'll
change
be
things.
better.
We'll make sure that they're okay.
Listen to her. They have a plan. Ilan says.
Bring me Scrim. Bring Scrim along.
To hear?
That's a point.
Yes, Scrim. He can be an anchor for his people. If he comes, anyone inside the box when it happens will be an anchor to all the people they're connected to make sure that they make it through this okay.
Anyone in the box? This makes no sense, but I will fetch him.
Long and the short of, you know all the crazy shit we've done so far, we've told you about for doing time stuff? Same compared to what's going on.
We're gonna change the past, but we need to cement the future. And each one of us in the thing is gonna help cement the other people in the world to help make sure that they come through as they are. So if you get Scrim, he will be able to cement his people and how they've changed.
Sister, I can't pretend that makes any sense, but I trust you. I'll bring him.
Should we bring Nathaniel or one of them also? Since that is a concern.
We have Telde. Oh.
Another
We can't
may
bring
help.
Telde. That's
And,
right. We
well,
can't bring Telde.
We haven't decided exactly on that, but another may help cement them.
Well, yeah. Telde, who would you recommend of your people?
I am unsure. They are separated. Sailor is not among them. He would not be remembered.
What about Temde?
Temde may know. Has been surveilling.
Or what about one of the ones that went with Scrim's encampment?
You want me to bring a representative from each?
Yeah. Could you do that, Dadriel? Bring us a representative of each.
So, Nathaniel, Temday, and one of Scrim's.
Yes.
I can do that. I'll go now.
Yeah. Should we grab the High General?
Can't think of a better man to be with us.
Do you need a ride?
Not if I have wings. Time to come back into glory, I think.
Izzy, let's get busy.
What?
Other person. If we're doing this, I think there's one person that I would like to bring with us. Actually.
Well, you tried to start saying that, Cass, but unfortunately this has just been cast.
Izzy, busy. Let's.
There is a blinding radiance that emerges from this wand, infernling Raziel, swirling around him and slowly seeping into his being. You can see wings stretching out far bigger than any sort of manifested you've seen.
We saw him in the alternate timeline.
And as they coalesce and merge into him,
Ellen, I didn't have this, okay? Forget I had this.
You probably should have said that beforehand.
There is Raziel standing, 6 wings splayed out behind him.
Gifton's gonna
did
look at
you
her 2 wings
do?
behind her and feel demoted somehow.
We were all there when that came up, weren't we?
Yep.
Yeah.
Except for Telltale.
That was, remember Miris mentioning? And
All right.
Why do I?
Huh?
He's like doing the sort of awkward thing where he's trying to peer back at something that's actually kind of hard to look back at.
would you like a mirror?
No, why do I have 6 of these?
Oh. More handsome?
You're mad.
How many did
Do you
he
not
have
normally?
when we saw the alternate timeline?
You should be
2.
running very quickly because I can't imagine what I just did isn't going to throw someone's alarm bells.
Yes.
Look over at Ellen and smile.
Do you need anyone from Southwestheim or Beacon otherwise? And if your family,
Carrick,
friends.
you should get your mother and father and your father.
Oh, putting them in a box together, that sounds like it could be more dangerous to all of us. No, I'm kidding.
You want representatives, right?
I was Denoran might be a good one.
There is
in the Sphinx Temple,
a
right?
loud
Oh,
trumpeting
That was going to be the actual questions. Did they get through yet?
Oh no.
as some of the sort of tree and brushwork shifts, creating an almost arch in the forest. A sort of path of purple flowers growing along it and creating, a purple carpet essentially. And through it you can see Lady Tanya, Lord Oberon, and Lord Morris stepping forward into this grove. Oberon is giving you a sort of gentle, lazy wave back and going, I've opened a little route directly between the 2 groves.
Oh, that's lovely. Thank you so much.
You want
There
the
is-
Fomerians, you can go get them.
All right, good. We're gonna need to. We're only kidnapping a large amount of them. We've got a new workaround for everything that's gone wrong.
There is only one bloody pixie.
One very bloody pixie.
It's actually not too far off. They're all there, but there's definitely been a fight.
More than one bloodied pixie now.
Yeah, there's a multitude of bloody pixies.
I must ask permission to take a representative of the Fae Court on a journey with me, if I may. I would like to bring Saga.
Saga? Why Saga?
Saga. Out of here.
Saga is of mortal blood, yes?
Yes,
They have not been alive as long as many other Fae,
they have not.
but they know many.
This is true.
We are planning to change the past, but we are looking for anchors for the future.
Arthur, which one is
There
Saga?
cannot be somebody who has a long reach, but to anchor the people of the present.
Oberon gives you a quizzical look, and then a wide grin splits his face, and he just goes, delightful.
It's a paradox. We're trying it.
I love it. Saga will be yours.
Yep. Yes, we need Saga. I'm trying to think. I think they would be a good representative for most of the Feywild that we could bring along. Are there any other mortal Fey that you would think would be good representatives?
Not the most common thing, but I can think of a couple I might muster up.
Bring us those.
Tanya, dear, would you see to Joseph? Yes, of course. And she just leans and gives him a peck on the cheek, and smiles at you all. She heads off in one direction, and he heads off in another.
My lord and lady.
Lord Morris
I
is
would
just
say-
looking around.
I would like to bring someone along.
Yeah, who?
My
We got
brother.
a double poo.
Though
Okay.
I'll have to
You-
try and convince to get Michael out of him.
Yeah, you'll have
I've
to.
got people I want to bring too.
Because he can anchor most of the Steel Shot clan better than I can.
All right.
I'll bring my wife,
What?
my kids, and my grandpa and my aunts.
I'm going to see if I can get Michael to come out.
Let's see how much room we have in the bin, because I'm looking for peoples. But I can understand wanting Marissa and the kids. That would definitely make sense, and maybe your grandpa or your aunt, one of your aunts, maybe. Because we're hoping they'll anchor the rest of them, right? We don't need to bring every single person, because you don't want me bringing all my family and then all my kids. I'm thinking like we grab Bill from Dolewood, right? Because he knows a lot of the people in Dolewood to grab for that.
Stone.
Either Bill or Father Stone, and then I was thinking maybe we see about grabbing Henry.
Henry could anchor most of Southwest time.
Yeah. But how much room? I'm gonna go in. How much room's in this room that we're gonna be having people in for the paradox?
I have infinite space.
So if there as long
Paradox
so
machine also have
infinite space for all the peoples.
Oh yes, it's a small infinite space though.
How small is it?
It's brownies.
I think she's being smart ass with you at that point.
It's going to be cozy.
As big a small space as you need it to be.
So we're going to be packed in, but we can fit as many people as we want.
What is the max occupancy of this?
Oh, a minor amount of an infinite number.
All right, fine. According to the machine, we can bring everybody.
There is
Bring the
a
whole family.
amused
I reckon
chime
it's
that sounds
23,
far more lyrical and fey to you now in this environment.
I'm.
Oh no.
guessing
All right,
my
let
grandmother
me
would
ask
be
you this then.
lived.
I'm gonna ask you this, my dear sweet traveler. How many people can be effectively in the area for the paradox machine to use them for anchors?
Ah, a much better question. Please try and limit your number to 20.
All right, 20. All right, so let's do representatives. So, would you want RG? You want Melissa?
I got a question. Do you guys in character start to sit down and plan this out?
Yes.
Yeah.
In that case, that is where we're going to end this week's session.
Yeah, good idea.
Your guys' homework for next week is to come up with your list.
Okay.
Keep in mind, if we're limiting it to 20, there are 6 of us.
But yeah, but I think I'm thinking Tilde can't be on that, right? We're having to have him sit out, maybe. Or are we not having Tilde sit out? I'm not sure.
You guys can deliberate on that during the week.
Yeah.
As Traveller has said, nothing is guaranteed. The risks may exist, they may not.
Yeah. I don't really want Tilde to sit out, but it's I feel like we have to bring less Warforge if we bring Tilde, because then we're already having a lot weighed
He
in.
does have at least vague memory of a lot of them, though.
I, as to say, might not actually want to bring our family, because when you think about it, our characters probably are
The anchor
strong
for the
enough
families.
in that to anchor any of them.
Yeah, I mean, we have to hope that we're strong enough for our family. That's why I'm not gonna grab my Kara and the kids.
Basically, you guys have to decide. You guys will get 4,000 experience points.
Okay.
Hey.
Yeah, you guys kind of have to decide: is this an arc or is this actually something to enact a plan?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm looking at what we should do for a plan, which I'm thinking Saga as a representative of the Fade and to help anchor that would be good.
Which one's Saga? Because I know we've got a name,
He's
but I just
the
can't remember. which one.
satyr that is the ambassador.
Okay, that's where I was at
Yeah,
for Baras.
he's the Barassian advance. I think he'd be really good because he had that whole thing with having to deal with all the nobles and stuff like that, and he's coming from the Fey court to the Barassian court, so he's a good spread. I think Stenhouse
Yep.
because I think everybody could agree to Stenhouse, right? We're gonna want Valda.
Yeah, Valda's good.
She do a good job covering a lot of Furmere in the process. Yeah.
Although
Yeah,
there is that warning of the long-lived creatures.
Yeah, there is the warning of Valda being longer creature, but we might need Valda's magical prowess for dealing with the physical
In the
anyway.
past, anyways.
So
the least remembrance about Hexenreich as a nation is actually probably going to be to your advantage.
yeah,
Because I don't think you want to try and preserve Hexenreich in its current state.
yeah.
No.
I honestly would like to grab instead of Valda for the mystery box, like bring Valda along to the past with us, right, to help do all this.
Mhm.
But I feel like we should bring oh god, I can't remember his name. Wilhelm? Not Wilhelm. The other one. Uther.
Actually, I was just saying maybe Wilhelm might actually be the better choice.
Oh yeah, Wilhelm would be the perfect choice.
Then knows everybody.
He knows everybody, and he's not as old of an undead.
And that's the thing
So-
is we can take more people with us, just not
Yeah,
for the Paradox project.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Valda's not in the paradox box. She's in the aid box.
Yeah.
So, all right. So we got Saga, Stenhouse, Wilhelm. Like I said, I like Bill as an option from Southwest Time.
That's the Shire Eve, right? I'm
Yep.
not going crazy.
Yeah, Billiam.
You mean
yeah.
Dolewood?
Dolwood, sorry.
Yes,
Yeah,
Yeah.
sorry.
And-
Southwest
and-
Time is
Wait a minute.
Dolwood. Sorry, I'm brain deading. So yeah, Dolwood would be Bill. I don't know if we can't really get to a certain person right now that we would use to anchor for Zaha, Denoran, because he's in the Sphinx Temple.
Yeah.
We could grab one of his spouses.
But we can take this to different points. We could show up after he gets out of the Sphinx Temple.
Or before.
Yeah, we can grab him before or after.
Yeah, but
there's not even the issue of.
But I honestly do think he would be a good choice, or one of his spouses. I don't know if there's any other leaders of that time frame that we know of from Zahab. We don't know people from Zahab, but I think Denoran's the most
He's our
well-connected person. So why don't we put Denoran on the list? All right. I want to bring Dadriel along, but not for the box.
He's there to help get people to listen to us.
Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're at 5 so far. I'm just keeping a list.
Yeah,
I'm
so
going
essentially we
to
need
say same time next week.